row. Franchise record is 11. Hill with another shot. Rebounded by Williams, and he lost it. Franchise record 11 straight, set twice by the Cavaliers. The last time, the 1990-91 season. Cleveland coming off a victory here at home, although not an easy one, against the 76ers on Thursday night. The Bulls on Friday lost at home once again, lost to Portland 115-96. To make it 4 straight losses in Chicago. Williams able to hand it off. Bobby Phills ties the game at 2. Bobby Phills, in his 3rd season out of Southern University, did not play much last year. Originally a 2nd-round pick of the Bucks in 91. Here's Longley. Oh! Handled by Williams.
Longley is getting a lot of shots in this triangle offense. He's got to be very pleased. They rarely threw him the ball in Minnesota.
And off the hard drive by Wilkins, a foul is called. It's on Myers.
That's his first team first.
Gerald Wilkins, in his 2nd year with the Cavaliers after 7 with the New York Knicks, will shoot a couple.
Well, one of the reasons why the Cavaliers have been playing well and winning of late is their defensive intensity has picked up. They're putting more pressure on the ball. And then when they either get a steal, a block shot, or a rebound, they have a very quick team out on the floor. And of course, when you have a Mark Price who can handle in the middle on the break, you're going to get a lot of good fast break opportunities. And they're going to be quicker than just about every team they play against.
And the Cavaliers will hurt you at the foul line. Wilkins hitting 1 out of 2. But they do lead the league in free throw shooting at 79%. Horace Grant posting up.
John.
And the call against Cleveland.
Well, just about every time down the floor, the Bulls have been able to get the ball inside right away on their triangle offense and have moved it and have gotten some good shots right yet. Scottie Pippen doing a good job of ducking inside. It's very important for the Cavaliers to keep John Hot Rod Williams out of foul trouble.
Pete Myers. Bulls lead 4-3. Saw the face mask that is being worn by Hot Rod Williams earlier in the season. Missed 6 games with a small hairline fracture of one of the nasal bones. And he's been wearing that protector as Phills hits his 2nd field goal. The Cavaliers lead 5-4. Horace Grant. And it's rebounded by Scottie Pippen. Stripped by Gerald Wilkins. Price dishes off to Phills. Yes, and it counts.
Scottie Pippen got stripped when he put the ball on the floor here, and then it's going to ignite a fast break with Mark Price in the middle, and Bobby Phills, a terrific athlete. The coaches for Cleveland really like this young man, mainly because he's one of those guys who comes to work every day. He reminds me of a player I had in Orlando, Otis Smith. Very similar in demeanor and also in ability.
Foul committed by Myers, his 2nd. Cavaliers applying some pressure on the ball. Cleveland 8 and Chicago 4 just underway at the Coliseum before a packed house. Now Pippen posting on Wilkins. Here's Pippen. Played well by Gerald Wilkins.
Still, the Bulls are getting it on offense very easily.
Price tried the 3, that his first shot attempt. Longley unleashing a lot of shots here in the early going. That's his 4th attempt. He is 1 for 4 from the field. Nice dish. Once again, it's Price with the setup, and Hill finished. Cavaliers lead 10-4. And Chicago will talk it over. A 7-0 run by the Cavaliers to get this crowd going with 4:09 gone by in the first quarter.
Well, Mark Price running the pick and roll, one of the most dangerous plays in basketball. So difficult to defend. You never know how to do it. And then the roll to Tyrone Hill.
See if we can remember
The quest for NBA glory next Sunday following the Suns Magic game on NBC.
What do you do after you introduce the first compact flare side on the planet? You make an even bigger splash. Announcing the Ford Ranger Splash Super Cab. Now the cool original also comes in a more spacious rendition. The 1994 Ford Ranger Splash and Splash Super Cab. Now how big a splash you make is up to you. Call it nature's original ice maker. Canada, the country that's 40% frozen, 100% pure, and the birthplace of ice, Molson Ice. Ice brewed by North America's oldest brewery to be a few degrees colder, a few degrees bolder, yet smooth as ice. Molson Ice. From the land where ice was born.
Check this out. Ladbird's favorite burger and Ladbird MVP cup from McDonald's. Now it's gotta let me play one-on-one.
Now at McDonald's, get an MVP collector cup featuring some of the biggest NBA superstars free when you collect all 6.
Charles, this is for you. Hey, thanks. Now can I play? No.
What you want is what you get at McDonald's today.
Well, the Cleveland Cavaliers, a team that has really come on recently, a Cavalier team that began the season at 7 up and 14 down in the doldrums. And Mike Fratello had to be wondering what was going on. We talked about that with Gerald Wilkins.
Well, you know, obviously we were a little frustrated about it, the 7-14 start, but, you know, Coach kept reminding us we were the best 7-14 team in the league. We kind of looked at them, though, you know, and wondered what was going on. But for the most part, we did turn it around. And we ended up becoming the team that we are today by simply working hard and just enduring and just getting through all the things that we had to get through. And we knew that we were a better team than what we were displaying or what the box score would show, because we was always losing by 1 or 2.
Well, that start was not all that surprising when you consider Larry Nance and Terrell Brandon were unavailable at the beginning, and Craig Elo, who had been a starter for this team for a number of years, had gone in free agency.
Oh! Nice play by Pippen, setting up Grant. And Jack Madden blowing the whistle. Foul call on that man, Gerald Wilkins.
The Chicago Bulls, despite the fact down 6 in the early going here, are getting into their offense easily. I'm sure Mike Fratello talked to his team about it because these two teams just played on Monday. It really kept the Bulls from getting the ball where they wanted, in particular into the low post, extended their defense, made that first pass much more difficult, but the Bulls are having their way as far as execution, just having trouble getting the ball in the hole right now.
Horace Grant making his return. He was a question mark because of back spasms. Sat out the game against Portland on Friday night. So the Cavaliers with a 10-6 lead. Wilkins passed on the long shot and hits a medium-range jumper.
All of that started with all the attention that Mark Price draws on his penetration. He drew 3 or 4 red shirts. It enabled him to kick the ball out, get good ball movement, and the wide open shot for Gerald Wilkins.
And Tyrone Hill is called for his first foul. Tyrone Hill signed by way of the Golden State Warriors, a guy who is a rare breed, kind of in the mold of Dennis Rodman, although Hill certainly looks to shoot more these days than Rodman. Kicked out of bounds.
Basketball reset.
Excellent move by Cleveland general manager Wayne Embry, acquiring Hill from Golden State for a #1 draft pick. Mike Fratello says that Hill's role with Cleveland has been seek and go get. You know, Lazar always had a way with points. Well, Hot Rod Williams with his first field goal, and the Cavaliers lead 14-6.
Hot Rod's a unique 6'11" player. He shoots the perimeter jumper very well and drives to the basket, yet he's not much of a post player.
Luke Longley putting it back down. That's his second field goal.
We're going to have to get the ice bags out for Luke. His arm's going to fall off. He's getting a lot of shots. He's got to be enjoying himself.
Yes, that is 6th field goal attempt. He's 2 of 6. Twice. Line drives it home. 6:20 remaining in this opening quarter. The Cavaliers 16 and the Bulls 8. the double team. That pass went through Longley.
This is good one, a little too hot to handle, but it just shows the unfamiliarity of Grant and Longley.
And once again, a nice setup from Price for Phils. Bobby Phils with his 4th field goal. He has 9 points. The Cavaliers with an 18-8 advantage. Armstrong facing the pressure. Grant off the fake. Nice move by Horace Grant, and the Cavaliers lead by 8. This is the 4th and final meeting of the regular season between these two teams. Cleveland has won 2 of 3. They met last Monday night in Chicago. Cleveland won that game 100-84. Hot Rod Williams. Cavaliers again double up on the Bulls. They're up now 20-10. And Pippen is fouled.
Well, every chance the Cavaliers get to get the ball in the hands of Mark Price, they want to do it because he creates so much attention from the defense. As he starts to penetrate, all eyes focus on him. Here, the fast break gets ignited on the defensive steal. And Mark Price in the middle, backing up and going by B.J. Armstrong. And Price keeping his head up at all times is one of the reasons why he is such a good feeder and one of the best assist men in the NBA.
Foul on Phils, putting Pippen on the line, and now Bill Wennington has replaced Luke Longley, making his 3rd start as a member of the Bulls. Longley 2 of 6 from the field for 4 points. Wennington has been rejuvenated with his play this season. His 8th NBA campaign, played in the Italian League the last 2 years. Holding foul on Steve Kerr, who just checked in. Steve Kerr got off to the terrific start, among the leaders in 3-point field goal shooting. One-time member of the Cavaliers, but recently has struggled. That's Phils from long range, and back comes Pippen. Pippen again drawing the double team, gets it off to Wennington. With a 3-on-2. And the Bulls were able to recover. Here's Phils, and he's hit. Basket won't count. He was hit from behind as Chicago doubled up.
Bobby Phils, not much of a jump shooter yet. However, he's getting more confidence with the more playing time that he's getting right now, but is a slasher and has that ability to get himself in the lane and draw the defense. And a nice feed there to Tyrone Hill. Actually, a foul was called. Talking to Bobby today about his high school graduating class in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Southern Lab, I think it was called. 51 people in the graduating class.
And then on to Southern University. Holds a degree in animal science at Southern. Studying to be a vet. His dad, Dr. Bobby Phils, the Dean of Agriculture and Home Economics at Southern in Baton Rouge. And Scottie Pippen was able to go uncontested.
And the czar with arms outstretched.
Yes.
Just cannot understand that. However, the Cavaliers have been quick defensively. They may be getting a little bit tired in this first quarter. The same group has gone all the way as Scottie Pippen just right down the lane.
Pippen got a piece of it. And off the contact, the foul called on Pippen.
Well, actually, they thought they had a double team, Hot Rod Williams and Bobby Phils. And when you have a player like Scottie Pippen, you better make sure you clamp him. John Hot Rod Williams got his feet all crossed up, and the weak side defense, Gerald Wilkins in particular, sound asleep on that particular play.
So Bobby Phils to the line. Chris Mills, the rookie from Arizona, #1 draft pick, has come on for the first time, replacing Gerald Wilkins. Bobby Phils, a 73% free throw shooter. Prior to this season, he was strictly garbage time. Played well in the Minnesota Summer League and is getting the playing time because of the many injuries suffered by the Cavaliers, but he's come through. He's played well. Last season, when he did play, it was final minutes of wipeouts. B.J. Armstrong connected, and the Cavaliers lead by 7 with 3:35 remaining in this first quarter for Armstrong. His first field goal.
With that high pick and roll. Phil Wennington doing a good job. Actually, he was trying to trap Mark Price right there, but unable to do it, but Price still controlled.
Price already a practice session going against Steve Kerr. That's a foul called. Price tying up Armstrong.
Foul is called on Mark Price.
For Price, his first.
The Bulls getting out on one of their rare fast break opportunities created from a missed shot, and Price tying up a Armstrong to prevent the field goal attempt, but putting on one of the best, putting on the line one of the best free throw shooters in the league.
Yes, B.J. Armstrong at just under 87%. Well, here's Larry Nance, greeted by the crowd, making it back off the injured list. He strained a tendon in his left foot about 2 weeks ago. His knee has not been sore, and that is a good sign. He has already missed 30 games this season. This 23 following the arthroscopic surgery in his right knee back in early November.
It's such an important element to this team in that he can play both forward positions, and against some teams can even play in the middle. A smart defensive player, good shot blocker, as the Bulls put on a little trap.
Price trying to penetrate, and a foul is called. And Mark Price is shaken up. Price trying to dribble through it, and he drew the foul, and he is hurt.
And trainer Gary Briggs out to see what happened as he cracked into both Armstrong, Kerr, and Pippen. And as he lost that ball, trying to prevent a fast break, made contact with Scottie Pippen.
Still bruised or still soft sprain? I don't know.
The Cavaliers are over the limit. Here's another look at it as the Cavs call for a timeout.
Collision there with Scottie Pippen. Looked like Mark Price ran right into the right knee of Pippen.
A very concerned Mike Fratello, first wanting to know why the foul, and then checking out Mark Price and calling for the timeout. Price hits the deck as he tried to squeeze his way through. 3:08 remaining in this first quarter. We'll be back in a moment.
Here comes a new taste from the inventor of light beer. It's called Light Ice from Miller. It's 100% ice brewed for a taste that's more of what you want. Definitely light for less of what you don't.
What kind of beer is that?
It's new Light Ice from Miller.
When your dentist cleans your teeth, he uses special instruments that get between them. But what toothbrush would your dentist prefer to use? Well, in a recent nationwide test, dentists tried a leading flat brush and Crest Complete. The brush more dentists preferred was Crest Complete. See, Crest Complete is shaped like your teeth, so it reaches far between them. Now, shouldn't you choose Crest Complete? Of course you should. And it's now available in designer black.
It's hard to believe the low price of some small cars. It should be, because there isn't much car behind the price. No air conditioning, no wheel covers, not even a radio. But with Ford Escort's one price, you get your choice of 4 models with your favorite features. Automatic transmission, air conditioning, and more. Priced less than any leading small car. Ford Escort, the best-selling small car in America. Because good price only means good value if there's something behind it.
Let it roll, hooray! Coming up next, we roll to San Antonio. Shaq comes home for his birthday to Mr. Robinson's neighborhood when the Magic meet the Spurs. Next on NBC.
All right, back at the Coliseum in Cleveland, Mark Price is being helped back to the Cavalier dressing room. They did bring out a stretcher, but indicated he did not want it as we take another look at how the injury occurred. Price beating the Chicago pressure down court, tried to split through and got tripped up. He was also called for a foul on the play, making contact with Scottie Pippen. And he's headed back to the dressing room, and Ahmad Rashad will check things out and pass on a report as soon as he gets the information. So Another setback, and of course Cavaliers are hoping a momentary one for this club that has been hard hit by injuries. Look at that list.
Well, a rare time for Mark Price to see him out of control. Of course, he was just trying to get through the pressure, and then the collision with Pippen. And I think he really injured himself when he fell to the floor and Pippen fell on top of him. And hopefully for Mark Price and the Cavaliers that it is just a knee bruise.
Well, the Chicago Bulls with 6 straight points. And again, they go to the pressure. Terrell Brandon, who has made it back from mononucleosis, has taken over at the point guard position with Mark Price injured on that last play. Cavaliers now lead by 3. Here's Brandon. Yes. So Terrell Brandon gets right to it. And the Cavs lead 24-19.
And it has been a long way back from that mononucleosis. It takes it's such a long time to get your strength and then, of course, then your confidence. And they feel he is just starting to round into shape right now.
Bill Wennington showing the outside touch. He has been hitting that jump shot throughout the season. Cleveland leads by 3. Here is Nance. And rebounded by Pippen. Wennington with the pick. And then Armstrong played on the switch by Nance. Wennington receiving the room and gave it back. Crowd wanted to travel. That was a 3-point miss by Armstrong. Brandon for Phil. And deflected out by the Bulls. Let's go over to Ahmad Rashad.
All right, Marv. Mark Price, I just talked with the trainer, Gary Briggs. He said Mark Price hurt his knee when he flipped over and went into the floor. Scottie Pippen fell on top of him, driving that knee down into the floor. That's where the injury occurred. They took him into the locker room just moments ago, and I will keep you updated on the extent of that injury. Marv?
Thank you, Ahmad. Just under 2 minutes remaining in this first quarter. Cavaliers at one point led by as many as 10. Brandon played by Kerr. Phil's getting it down low, but Mills hit from behind.
Ball is on B.J. Armstrong.
B.J. Armstrong called for his first.
Bobby Phil's just playing with more and more confidence the more minutes he's got, and the role that he has with his team right now, able to get in the lane and see open players and make good plays, really can give the Cavaliers another dimension, because when Mark Price is on the floor, they have to rely on him handling the ball so much. They would like to use him more as a shooting guard sometimes, so it's important that guys like Chris Mills, Bobby Phills, and Gerald Wilkins handle the ball and make plays.
So the numbers on Chris Mills, his free throw shooting has dramatically improved. He converts the 2, and the Cavaliers lead 26-21. Again, pressure by Cleveland, leading to the steal. Phil's putting the move on Wennington, gives it back to Mills. Yes. Cavaliers 28, the Bulls 21. And pressure by the Cavaliers. So Mike Fratello has opened up, showing lots of pressure in this first quarter. Horace Grant now with 6 points. Lead by 5.
Well, Mike has to like that kind of defensive pressure, especially when it turns into quick strike, relatively easy baskets.
Nice move by Mills. Could not finish it off. Here comes Kerr. He has Grant on the wing, but he pulls up to shoot. Yes. Steve Kerr with his first field goal. The Cavaliers lead by 3.
Well, Bobby Phills, who had the job starting out the ballgame of guarding Scottie Pippen, mainly because the Cavalier coaching staff feel he is their best defensive player.
Eric Stafford walking over to the scorer's table, apparently a problem with the 24-second clock.
And the overplay by Bobby Phills and Bill Wennington with an ill-advised pass there. As here the Cavaliers get the steal and the easy baskets. They're looking more and more like a Western Conference team who looks to get out and run more. You don't normally see this from the Cavaliers, or you haven't for a long time.
Cleveland Cavaliers have gone 27-10 since mid-December. That's the second best record for San Antonio since that point of the schedule. But a very difficult portion of the schedule is coming up. Brandon actually trapped himself with that move along the baseline. Kerr spotting up, looking for the 3. Good play by Phil's on the recovery. 10 on the Shot clock, 20 seconds left in the quarter. Now Grant dishes off to Pippen. Pippen had it knocked away by Brandon, and it's a 2-on-1. Brandon fires it back to Phils, and a foul on Kerr.
Again, the Cavaliers getting out and running, and none of those passes were particularly on the mark. Phil's pass to Brandon, nor Brandon's pass back, but they're so good athletically, and their hands are so good that they're able to catch the ball. Nice driving move by Scottie Pippen, but the better steal by Terrell Brandon to start this fast break. Kind of a careless pass there, and had to save it as Steve Kerr picks up the personal foul. John Paxson into the ball game for the Bulls.
And Horace Grant will sit down, so John Paxson has come on for the first time. Jaron Wilkins returning for Cleveland. Only the 22nd game this season for Paxson. Sat out the first 31 with a knee injury. Horace Grant playing despite the back spasms, sitting down after hitting 2 of 4, 6 points. And 10 seconds remaining. First quarter, Cavaliers 30, Bulls 25. Paxson across midcourt. His pass batted away by Brandon. Paxson shooting. Rebound Mills. Here is Wilkins, the 3. That would have counted. So the crowd reacts to the home team. Bobby Phils leading the way, 13 points in this opening quarter. And after one, it's the Cavaliers 30, the Bulls 25.
May I help you? No, thank you.
See you.
What happened? We got to talk. Not right now. I'm in the middle of shooting a Super Bowl commercial. Won't take long, Chef. You're canceled. Canceled? Yeah, sorry. How do you get canceled out of a commercial?
You're not getting the ratings, Chevy.
Ratings?
Demographics, all wrong. There's 4 or 5 other commercials the audience likes a lot better.
They do?
Oh, yeah. You're out, Chef.
I like this stuff.
Well, keep the bag, Chef.
Oh, well, thanks.
You're a sport and a terrific guy. You're good. You look great.
Tough year. Good chip.
Doritos Tortilla Thins. Everything else is just a chip.
So, what are we doing today?
I'd like to go buy some flowers.
Oh, I know a place we can go buy some flowers.
Great. Then maybe the theater to catch something?
Yeah, catch something.
Only Ford Explorer combines the luxury of more space with the ruggedness of 4-wheel drive.
And then I thought a nice candlelight dinner.
Yeah, candlelight dinner.
Ford Explorer. The world's just too big to be left unexplored.
You know, sometimes you have to add a little spice to your life. Try something different.
Spicy chicken sandwich, please.
Excellent.
Wendy's spicy chicken sandwich is seasoned with Dave's own fiery blend of pepper and spices.
Man, that's got zip.
For a hot and spicy taste.
Dad, what are you wearing?
I'm trying something different.
Keep trying.
I should have stopped with a sandwich.
Try Wendy's spicy chicken sandwich today and go wild.
After one here at the Coliseum in Richfield, Ohio, the Cavaliers 30 and the Bulls 25. The Cleveland Cavaliers hoping that this is not a serious injury suffered in the first quarter by Mark Price. For an update, let's go to Ahmad outside the Cleveland dressing room.
All right, Marv, I just spoke with Cleveland trainer Gary Briggs. He says that Mark Price has a bruised left knee. He is icing it down right now, and he may return to the game. All right, Marv?
Okay, Ahmad. Bruised left knee suffered by Mark Price. Facing the pressure defense of the Bulls, he tried to work his way through, and then in that collision, he went down and bruised his knee.
And that is somewhat good news for the Cavaliers, as long as there is not any structural damage or any cartilage. That is definitely good news, and it's just going to take maybe a little bit of rest and a little bit of ice, or maybe, in fact, Mark Price can come back in this ball game. Well, I think it's really interesting to see that the Cavaliers are pressing and trapping the Chicago Bulls with kind of reckless abandon. In the old days, like a year ago and a few before that, we never even thought of putting that kind of pressure with Michael Jordan in the ballgame.
Cavaliers 11 of 21 from the field in the first quarter. The Bulls 9 for 20. Second quarter is underway. And Nance, who was expected to see limited action, playing a bit more than anticipated. The foul is called a loose ball foul on Tyrone Hill. Phil Jackson going with Horace Grant, Bill Wennington, Scottie Pippen up front, Pete Myers, Steve Kerr in the backcourt. Marv Albert with Matt Guokas and Ahmad Rashad from Cleveland. NBA Game of the Week. Scottie Pippen being played by the rookie Chris Mills. Bill Wennington. Steve Kerr for three. Yes. Steve Kerr, the one-time Cavalier, has opened up by hitting his first two shots.
Good execution again by the Chicago Bulls as they reversed the ball, found the wide-open Steve Kerr. Phil Jackson has to be happy to some extent with the type of shots that his team is getting right now.
And Hill draws the foul.
There's Scottie Pippen setting that screen. I guess that's a legal pick. I don't know in what league, but no way that Terrell Brandon was going to get out to Steve Kerr as Scottie Pippen had them all tied up.
Like a move out of the National Hockey League. Tyrone Hill with his third point. Tyrone Hill in his fourth season out of Xavier. He averaged 10 rebounds per game last season. And like many of the Cavaliers, it has been an injury-hit year for Hill. They double up on Kerr. Grant going at Nance. Played him well, but Horace Grant to the fadeaway. He has 8 points, and the Bulls are down by only 2.
Now we talk about all the injuries that the Bulls have had, and of course, Horace Grant in and out of the lineup with those back spasms as Larry Nance tries to set the two-man game pick with Gerald Wilkins called for the offensive foul. But Horace Grant being out of the lineup is such a big deal for the Chicago Bulls because he's their best interior defender, rebounder, and shot blocker.
Have turned it after the slow start. They've hit 7 of their last 9 from the field. And this away from the ball as Hill and Wennington got involved.
The offensive foul on Scottie Pippen.
Yeah, well, they say no, Scottie Pippen. As Pippen is called for the push on Mills.
And Mills and Pippen continue to have some words here as the rookie tries to battle and push Scottie Pippen out of there. Offensive foul, Scottie Pippen, who has not had a rest yet.
Hill missed the stop. Here's Kerr launching for another 3. And rebounded by Hill. Good box out by Hill. Going down. Last touch by the Bulls. So Cleveland will maintain possession. We'll be back in a moment.
If you look on page...
Shaq, Mr. Robinson, the Magic beat the Spurs. Next on NBC.
The car on the right was filled with Castrol Syntec, a synthetic oil, the other with conventional oil. They were then drained and started without oil to prove a point. You see, Syntec has a unique molecular structure that bonds to engine parts. Lab tests show it leaves a layer of protection far stronger than conventional oil. And if Syntec protects this well now, imagine if you leave it in. Castrol Syntec protects in ways other oils can't.
You're looking at the most powerful import pickup ever built. The new 4-liter V6 Mazda truck. What all the beautiful people are driving this year.
Crack open
want a smoother, better draft? Ice Draft from Budweiser. It's ice brewed, chilled below freezing, then cold filtered. From now on, a cold draft just isn't cool enough. Ask for Ice Draft, only from Budweiser.
Behind every new Mazda truck is an unsurpassed 50,000-mile, 3-year basic warranty. And behind that, who knows?
The NBA on NBC is brought to you by Mazda. Mazda, it just feels right. By Chip Tracer, it traces every curve on your face. And by new ice-brewed Ice Draft from Budweiser. Taste the future of draft beer.
Back at the Coliseum, 9:46 remaining in this first half, and the Cavaliers with a 32-30 lead on the Bulls. Horace Grant making his return after sitting it out against Portland on Friday night. Now, he is a player who has felt unappreciated. He'll be an unrestricted free agent after the season and certainly will be heavily recruited. I asked Horace, is he looking to be romanced by other NBA teams?
Well, I have a girlfriend, but I'm still ready to get romanced. I'm going to test the free market. Like I said earlier in some interviews, that I think I'd be cheating myself if I didn't go out there and test the market. I think I worked extremely hard to get in this position, and I think it'll be foolish on my part not to take advantage of the situation.
We mentioned earlier that these kind of controversies and this kind of talk is a minor distraction to a team, especially when you're not playing well, but you kind of get tired of hearing it as far as the coaches are concerned, the other players. And, you know, Horace has made it well known that he is not happy with the way this whole thing has been handled, but that's something that has to go on behind closed doors and keep it there.
Well, he and Scottie Pippen have certainly made it clear the last few years that they were unhappy with, as Pete Myers picked it out of the hands of Gerald Wilkins. And that ties the game at 32. Pippen unhappy about the large contract the Bulls signed Tony Kukoc to, and that one of many subjects that came up during the course of the week with Scottie Pippen, as pointed out on Showtime, the most quoted man in Chicago this past week. The Cavaliers and the Bulls are tied at 32. Shot clock is down to 3. Mills had to force it. Rebounded by Scott Williams, who just checked in and knocked away last touch by the Cavaliers. Scott Williams sat out the last 2 games because of the flu. Bill Cartwright still out on the injured list with tendonitis of the left knee. Bill Jackson told us last night he's hoping that Bill can return this Friday. Scott Williams was pushed from behind. And here comes Mark Price making his way back. Chris Phil's call for that foul. Mark Price, who bruised a knee going down to that collision with Scottie Pippen in the first quarter. Now, as he is about to enter the arena, hearing it from the crowd, fans spotting Price making his way, and you'll hear the roar.
Well, everybody here in Richfield very, very happy to see Mark Price coming back and that it's not a serious injury. Very, very popular player here, and you can understand why. A 4-time All-Star, going to be on Dream Team too, and it's a fun player to watch.
And now let's see what his situation is. Mike Fratello, I'm sure, will check it out with trainer Gary Briggs and with Mark Price. Well, Brandon came on for Price. Well, Hill keeps it alive, and a foul is called on the ball. It's on Myers. Meanwhile, the Cavaliers have missed their last 8 shots. That's 3 on Myers.
Tyrone Hill just does an outstanding job on the offensive board. He volleyballed the first rebound to himself, got the second rebound again. We talked about Dennis Rodman being the best rebounder in the league this year statistically. On a per-minute basis, Dennis Rodman gets 1 every 2.2 minutes. Tyrone Hill is second in the league in that category, getting 1 every 2.7.
Kicked around a couple of times by Gerald Wilkins. Well, Scottie Pippen, after the brief rest, has returned, replacing Myers. Bulls That's a ticket of 34-32 lead. Cleveland led by as many as 10. Chicago with a 9-2 advantage in the second quarter. Scott Williams guarded by the shorter Bobby Phills. And now Scottie Pippen shooting over Gerald Wilkins.
Scottie Pippen was out for a long time, about 22 seconds. Yes. With Tony Kukoc not here today, of course, that means Pippen will have to play longer.
Kukoc spraining his ankle late in the Friday night game against Portland. Well, Mark Price making his way over to the scorer's table. He'll come on. Scott Williams, Bill Wennington, and the Bulls lead 36-32. Well, Mark Price will give it a go, but first a timeout is called. A 20-second timeout for the Cavaliers with 7:49 remaining in this first half.
Cavaliers, #1 in the league in turning the ball over the least amount of times, has hurt himself here the last couple of minutes on an underneath out-of-bounds play, mishandled by Gerald Wilkins, and then another turnover by Gerald.
Well, the first half of our NBA doubleheader coming up. Shaquille O'Neal and the Orlando Magic taking on David Robinson and the Spurs. A matchup to the NBA's big men when Orlando goes up against San Antonio next. David Robinson with 41 points on Friday night has passed by Shaquille O'Neal, now leading the NBA in scoring by a fraction of a point.
Now it looks like, Bob, they will go down to the wire with that. They're both capable of having a big night at any time, but I'm sure both players are more concerned with how their teams play the rest of this regular season schedule than whether or not they win the scoring title.
Incidentally, coming up on the Prudential halftime report as Hill is able to stuff it. Beautiful lead by Bobby Phills. Bob Costas, Julius Erving will take a look back at the first half here. And they'll preview the Orlando and San Antonio game, plus an extended interview with the controversial Dennis Rodman of the Spurs. Scottie Pippen extending to a 38-34 Chicago lead. Bob Rashad in San Antonio earlier in the week to chat with Dennis Rodman. That is coming up at halftime. 5 minutes gone by in the second quarter. Mark Price back on the floor. Mark Price off the mark. Rebounded by Bill Wennington.
Interesting that you both went down and did double-team Tyrone Hill there. He's starting to get the respect of them, and it's always dangerous to double-team inside with a Mark Price on the floor because you're very much concerned with his perimeter shooting.
Foul committed by Phills, his second, and a timeout is called.
Trucks are a spiritual thing to me. Something you can depend on. It's just like, you know, my best friend, I guess you might say.
Out on the ranch is where I'm at, and that's where I want the truck to work for me.
I need a truck that's rough like I am.
Introducing the all-new Mazda truck with a 4-liter V6 and a soul to match. The new Mazda truck.
Saddle up and let's go dancing.
Mazda. It just feels right.
If another company is promising your business big savings compared to AT&T, compare our best price to theirs. You may discover those big savings are just an illusion. Leaving AT&T doesn't make a lot of sense.
Now that's a beautiful cup.
Hurry to McDonald's for your favorite extra value meal. And for 39 cents more, supersize it and get one of 6 MVP collector cups free, including Charles Barkley's, plus 5 other players.
What other players?
Hit it!
Happy feet. I've got those happy feet. Give them a low-down beat, and they begin dancing. 'Cause I've got happy feet. 'Cause we've got happy feet.
I love this game.
Back at the Coliseum in Richfield. Let's check out this week's installment of the Tip of the Week. And Mark Price will share this tip on the subject of ball handling.
Hi, I'm Mark Price. And during the course of a game, I end up handling the basketball an awful lot. As a point guard, it's my job to run the show and be able to pass the ball to the open player. So a real key in ball handling would be to keep my head up while I'm dribbling the basketball so that I can see the other players on the court. Also, I need to look for my shot sometimes if my defensive man's pressure me, so good ball handling skills allow you to cross over, go by a guy, or you can spin on a guy. Just being able to handle the ball, ways to get by your defender. And I think most importantly as a ball handler, you don't want to turn the ball over. You don't want to make turnovers because that's the one thing that coaches hate the worst is turnovers. So work on your ball handling and you can be a good basketball player.
Mark Price, who is having one of his great seasons in an illustrious NBA career, averages 8 assists, only 2.5 turnovers per game, had a career high 32 points, season high 32 points this past Wednesday in Boston on 13 of 17 from the field, along with 10 assists.
Well, we talk so much about his shooting, his ball handling, his assist making, but if you're a young player starting out in basketball, he's a good guy to watch as far as his ability to move on the floor. A lot of players come out and they think it's good to be quick and fast, and it certainly is. But when Mark Price is so effective is he goes from slow to fast, which makes it seem that much quicker. Really changes speed very nicely.
And passes off the dribble as well as anyone. Perhaps maybe John Stockton would have a slight edge in that department.
John Stockton had the big meat hook, or has it, I should say. Still has it. Still finding Karl Malone.
Hot Rod Williams just did get a piece of the rim, and then Hill and Longley got involved. Longley with some words, and Paul Mahalik steps between. Tyrone Hill is a very aggressive player. He drew that foul. Luke Longley collecting his first.
Tyrone Hill doing all his work around the basket. Very difficult to keep off the offensive board. However, nobody really tried to that time. And the obvious hack there is Tyrone Hill, not normally a good free throw shooter at 65%, but has shot them much better in this last 5 games or so.
And a technical foul was called on Tyrone Hill. You see Mike Fratello very upset. Steve Kerr able to hit. Mike Fratello all over the official Paul Mahalik. Reminds me of his attitude during production meetings last season, Matt.
Did you ever call a technical on him? No. He has cooled off this year. Maybe the 3 years with you has mellowed him some. Only 4 technicals this season.
How were you in the department of technical fouls in your days as head coach of the Sixers and the Magic?
On average, I guess I get about 11 or 12 a year.
11 or 12. It's only the 10th technical for the Cavaliers as a team. That's the fewest in the NBA. The Browns, Cleveland leading the way in that department. Were you telling me the other day that you use them as tax deductions? Is that correct? You would put in technical fouls, which means you paid the technical. I used to think the clubs would take care of it.
That's against league rules. You must pay your technical fouls. Therefore, why not take the deduction?
In effect, if you need additional deductions, you might get an extra technical. Is that the idea?
Usually around December, Christmas time, you get a few more before that December 31st deadline.
Bulls 41 of the Cavaliers 36. Bobby Phills with his 5th field goal. He has 15 points.
Tyrone Hill never made it to the front court. He lost the shoot, but that's the best execution the Cavaliers have had in their half-court offense in about 7 or 8 minutes.
5:45 remaining in the first half. Kirk got the step. Williams. Bulls get back. And Price sets it up. Hot Rod Williams. Yes. The Cavaliers within 1.
I talked about the half-court execution that the Cavaliers have had. You got to give a lot of credit to the Chicago Bulls. They made a decided effort today to bear down defensively. They have done that, but the Cavaliers continue to get fast break baskets.
Longley getting inside. Called for a traveling violation. The basket will not count. Well, with with a footnote on that technical foul. Let's go over to Ahmad.
All right, Marv, you know how rabid these fans are. Jack Madden just told the House PA announcer that if he announces another foul the way he did last time, he will be out of here.
Whoa! Well, there is some precedence recently. Portland Trailblazer color commentator Mike Rice was ejected by Steve Jaffee. And let's see, a public address announcer, the PA man here is Howie Chiswick, who does present it in a very enthusiastic manner, it must be said. Rejection, Hill on the recovery, and a foul is called.
Marv, you better be careful.
Well, Bobby Phills blocked by Luke Longley, and it led to the foul call, so Tyrone Hill will go to the line. Longley called for his second foul.
Tyrone Hill is one of those offensive rebounders in the league right now who's going to demand your constant attention. You got to put a body on him, box him out any way you can, with your back, with your front, anything you can do to keep him off the boards, because he's a confident offensive rebounder right now.
And you can see Hill has come on recently in the absence of Brad Dougherty, out for 4 to 6 weeks with a back problem. And Larry Nance has been out, just made his return today. 4:56 to go in the first half. Cavaliers and Bulls are tied at 41 half with a 7-0 run after Chicago took a 7-point lead.
I think Phil Jackson has to be happy with the way his team is playing after the tumultuous week that they have had. And with the look of kind of dismay on their faces. He called it grumpy earlier in the week, a lack of confidence, lack of trust. Today they are just coming out and playing their game, which is the only way they can come out of this so-called slump. I think sometimes you're focused so much on trying to win the game. Of course, that's the object, and that's going to make everybody feel better, but the Bulls have to go further back than that. They have to establish who they are as a basketball team once again and start doing that on a consistent basis, and then the wins will take care of themselves.
Phil Jackson said the other day he was mystified by his team's sudden heart and energy. Strong statement. Bulls team struggling through its most difficult stretch in the tenure of Phil Jackson. And a foul is called. Bobby Phills picks up his third. This is a Chicago team that was 34-13 at the All-Star break. And since then, they have lost 7 of 10.
Omar, if you told this team and coaching staff, organization, fans, everybody in Chicago on the first day of the season that they would be 37-20 today, I think they would say, hey, just knock me out, wake me up, and I'll take it. But of course, they had so much success early, they're a little bit spoiled by it.
Well, Grant got inside. He expected some resistance and blew the layup. It will be Cleveland ball.
Fires Grant working hard inside, gets good position. They have gotten ticked on the way up, but he just lost possession as it looked like he had a clear lay-in.
Knocked out of bounds by the Bulls. Cavaliers 42 and the Bulls 41. 4.5 remaining in this first half. Wilkins played by Paxson. Hill sets the pick. Longley jumps out. Mills shooting. And a reach-in foul on Ron Williams.
Foul is on Hot Rod Williams. Actually, second penalty situation
on Williams. And Cleveland over the limit. Horace Grant to the line. Horace is 2 for 2 from the line. He is only a 56% free throw shooter.
He has struggled mightily this year, as has Scottie Pippen, or at least in the beginning of the season, Scottie had problems at the free throw line, and a big reason why the whole Chicago team is down in free throw shooting, because they are the two players that go to the line the most.
Bulls as a team at only 70%. That is 25th in the NBA. Only Orlando and Golden State are below them. Price meeting Armstrong off the dribble. Yes.
How pretty as that. And actually, I thought B.J. Armstrong did a nice job on there. But again, that slow to quick, stop on a dime move by Mark Price freed him up for that wide open jumper.
The Cavaliers lead by 2. Grant backing his way. Shot clock at 5. Armstrong trying to hit Longley. Price with a runner. Wilkins with the tip. Williams. Out shuttle for Hill. Pretty play by Gerald Wilkins.
And the Cavaliers having their way on the offensive boards right now. Phil Jackson wants to talk it over. And in the 3 meetings so far between these teams, whoever led in rebounding won the ball game.
3:28 to go. First half timeout is called. Cavaliers lead by 4. Mark Price going short. Cavaliers getting to the loose ball. Watch Conrad Williams slipping it. Tyrone Hill.
It's Charles. Topic. Best 2-on-2 teammate. David Robinson.
Charles Barkley.
Wrong. Quick kissing up to the host. The correct answer is Alonzo Mourning. He's tough. He's fearless. He's devastating. He's gonzo. You know, if I was as big as Alonzo, I'd be illegal in 7 states, including Puerto Rico. I'd have bigger shoes, bigger hat, a bigger fan club,
And a bigger snob.
and a bigger logo. Ooh, fat.
The Mazda 626 is a beautiful car. Know why? Because even with its 6-cylinder engine, it costs less than a 4-cylinder Camry LE. That's beautiful.
Dear car owners, if you had a brake problem tomorrow, could you think of one brake specialist to go to? Where can you go for same-day brake service? A guarantee on brake shoes and pads for as long as you own your car. And the expertise of doing over 2 million brake jobs a year? Midas. Think of us as the brake specialists. We're pretty good at mufflers, too.
With a new, more powerful engine and over 30 other refinements, America's favorite amusement ride just got better. The new Mazda Miata.
Ripped from reality, one woman's unthinkable revenge.
Shut it off.
But what happens when she goes too far?
Your husband's dead.
All new Law and Order, NBC Wednesday.
Bob Costas back in New York. Coming up on the Prudential Halftime Report, we'll take a look at the second game of our doubleheader. It'll be the Magic and the Spurs. The league's leading rebounder and certainly its most enigmatic player, Dennis Rodman, talked with Ahmad Rashad earlier this week, and we'll bring you that conversation at halftime. Julius Erving will also be here with his thoughts about the first half between the Bulls and the Cavs. That's coming up shortly. Right now, back to Richfield as we rejoin Marv and Matt. Marvelous.
Thank you, Bob. As you see, 3:28 remaining in the second quarter, and the Cleveland Cavaliers, in the midst of a 12-1 run, lead the Chicago Bulls 46-42. A Cleveland team that has won 9 in a row, 10 of 11. The Cavaliers' longest win streak since they won 10 straight last April, while the Chicago Bulls with 4 straight losses, and they have lost 4 in a row at home. The first 4-game losing streak at home since back in 1984, when Michael Jordan was still at North Carolina and baseball was not even a thought.
I don't even think golf was a thought at that point. But a 9-year run where they have not had a lot of losing streaks. Michael, like a stopper in baseball, always able to put out those puckers.
And backs it off the mark. Rebounded by Pippen. They double up on Pippen. Grant saving that pass. Longley backing Williams. Longley with the reverse. Luke Longley, recent addition from the Minnesota Timberwolves in the trade for Stacey King. He hails from Melbourne, Australia, member of the Australian Olympic team on 2 occasions. And looking for a foul away from the ball. Rod Williams on the follow. And watch
Once again, the Cavaliers cleaning up on the offensive boards. That was one of those occasions they put the ball in the hands of Gerald Wilkins and let Mark Price try to work off the baseline screens. And B.J. Armstrong did a good job of holding on and hanging on.
Cleveland leads by 4. Grant is hit. Off the spin, Horace Grant through the foul.
Well, Mark Price loves to work on that baseline. B.J. Armstrong grabbing onto his right arm. People are going to step out and try to help like Longley there. Price forced to put up a forced shot, but John Williams and Tyrone Hill just wreaking havoc on the offensive boards. Tyrone Hill's had a terrific second quarter, 10 points and 5 rebounds, scoring 12 and grabbing 8 overall in this first half.
However, the foul by Hill is third, puts Grant on the line, and that means the return of Larry Nance. So Hill will sit down.
I'm sure Michael Fratello was trying to get out of this first half by getting Tyrone Hill with just 2 personal fouls. The graphic there pointed out Tyrone Hill is foul prone. 2 years ago, he led the league with 315 personal fouls. The officials know him well.
Hill and Phils. Williams has hit 5 out of 6. He has 10 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists. He has done a terrific job in filling in at the center position in the absence of the injured Brad Doherty. But there will be stiffer competition coming up with the schedule getting tougher. Wilkins. The Cavaliers lead by 7.
And again, just a semi-fast break there, and that's where the Cavaliers appear to be very comfortable right now. In the past, they were more of an executing half-court team.
Longley was presented with that outside shot opportunity. He has 8 points. And by 5, and a 25 to go in this first half. Nice chest pass from Price. Nance operating down low. For Nance, his first field goal.
And all of that developed because Horace Grant, knowing B.J. Armstrong, knowing he was hung up, stepped out to stop the dangerous Mark Price, but it enabled Larry Nance to get good inside position.
Pick and roll did not work. Cavaliers have hit their last 4 shots. They lead by 7. And Nance, this time he gave it up. Williams. Longley off the board. 40 seconds to go. First half. And as Pippen works his way, the outside official, Paul Mahalik, with the call on Nance.
Ball is on Larry Nance in second.
Here's Mark Price chasing B.J. Armstrong around that screen as Luke Longley trying to set the screen. First, Price works very hard at both ends of the floor. It looked like he may have bruised that knee once again as Luke Longley, with the big legs and big body, sets that pick, as Mark Price letting referee Paul Mahalik know, hey, watch them on the picks. They're sticking arms, knees, everything out there.
Hot Rod Williams sitting down, replaced by the 6'10" Jay Gittinger, who has been receiving more and more playing time. Second-year man out of Minnesota Duluth, so he's come on to spell Williams.
Mike Patel already has Tyrone Hill with 3 personal fouls. He wanted to protect John Hot Rod Williams from getting into the same situation in this final 25 seconds.
Price stopped from behind. Beautiful play by Armstrong, putting the move on Wilkins. And it's retrieved by Wilkins. Now Mills in the open floor. Cavaliers try to hold for 1, then Price fires to 3. Wilkins checks the clock. Down to 5 seconds. There's Wilkins with a one-on-one move. Good first half here at the Coliseum in Richfield. The Cavaliers 54 and the Bulls 49. Coming up, Bob Costas with the Prudential halftime report. We'll be back after these messages.
Since your face can't adjust to your razor should adjust to your face, which is exactly why we designed the Schick Tracer. The Schick Tracer is the only razor with blades that bend and flex to the unique shape of your face. So the Tracer gets in close for a clean, comfortable shave. And since you can't change your face, maybe you should change your razor. Schick, we're changing the face of shaving.
The Mazda 626 is a beautiful car. Know why? Because even with its 6-cylinder engine, it costs less than a 4-cylinder Camry LE. That's beautiful.
To play this game, you got to have the drive, you got to have the moves, you got to have the love, but most importantly...
Hey, man, you get the ball? No, I ain't got the ball. You got it? Say what?
You got to have the ball.
Somebody better bring the ball. Bring the ball.
Hey, Chops. Want a game? The all-new Street Ball. It's a Rollings. It's only $4.99 and only at Pizza Hut. Get one, because nobody plays without the ball.
It isn't normal to make a sports coupe look this classic. But that's how we build the Mazda MX-6, because we just thought some people might appreciate beauty that lasts for years.
We invented light beer, made the rule.
This must be the front row.
We can change them. Introducing new light ice from Miller. Ice brewed and less filling. 100% ice brewed for a taste that's more of what you want. Definitely light for less of what you don't.
New beer, new rules. How you doing?
New light ice from Miller.
A forgotten treasure, a lost civilization, and a mission through enemy territory.
Follow his trail.
We got company. Only one man can lead the way.
He wants me!
Fred Dreyer, the world premiere movie. Day of Reckoning, NBC Monday.
This is the Prudential Halftime Report, brought to you by the Prudential. Peace of mind. It comes with every piece of the rock.
Well, the Bulls led by 7 at one point, but it's the Cavs 54-49 at halftime. And Cleveland, as we said, has played well despite a rash of injuries, and sometimes those injuries open a door for a guy like Bobby Phills, who had been playing very well of late and had 15 points in the first half of this game. The way the Cavs can play for Bulls now is different than it used to be, right?
Oh, absolutely, Bob. If you look at this game, you can see that Cleveland starts out the game. They want a fast break. They want to play an up-tempo game against the Bulls, their old nemesis. And as a matter of fact, at the end of the first quarter, they put on a full-court trap against the Bulls, something they never would have thought of doing in previous seasons.
And this is solely because Michael Jordan isn't there.
Well, I think the Bulls are a different team and the Cavs are a different team. They're showing a lot more athleticism, and even with the injuries, you know, they got newcomers coming in, Bobby Phills, and you know, Mark Price, who's been there all along, making the good decisions on the break, and Hot Rod Williams going in playing center, and even though he's smaller than a lot of centers, he's active and he's agile, and letting them show some athleticism against a team that, you know, used to be their nemesis.
Cavs have won 2 out of 3 this year against the Bulls, dating back to '89, regular season and playoffs. The Bulls had won 19 of the previous 26 against Cleveland coming into this season. Now, following the Bulls and the Cavs here on NBC, we have a good matchup from San Antonio. It's the Spurs and the Magic, the first time Shaquille O'Neal and David Robinson have faced each other since the All-Star game 3 weeks ago. You may recall that the Western Conference All-Stars doubled and sometimes triple-teamed Shaq and held him very much in check. 2 for 12 shooting and just 8 points.
Coming out the floor, I went to him and I said, when we play against these teams, the Western Conference teams, we're going to give you the ball 50 times because I didn't think that was right.
You know, even the All-Star game, they try to make him a man, but I guess he was just that much of a man. You know, before you beat a man, you got to beat the man. I think the man's going to be David. He hasn't beat David yet, so hey.
I don't have anything to prove. Nothing at all.
Well, Shaq and the Magic have been on the short end of the score in all 3 meetings with Robinson and the Spurs in Shaq's brief NBA career. These two are now the top scorers in the league, with Robinson having just taken the lead by 1/10 of a point after his 41-point performance on Friday night against the Clippers. Now, when we come back, a look at the guy who has clearly taken sides in the Robinson-O'Neal matchup, the Spurs' Dennis Rodman. That's about the least controversial thing he's done of late. We'll be back with Rodman talking with Ahmad Rashad after a message from Prudential and a word from the NBA. Stay with us.
Business trips, quarterly reports, well-deserved promotions, co-workers who through the years became friends. All the pieces that add up to a successful career. And now a successful retirement, thanks to a leader in retirement planning. A 30-foot boat, the wind at your back. Peace of mind, it comes with every piece of the rock.
Most people expected me to say that I'm proud that he's a pro basketball player, but the most thing I'm proud of is that he went to school, and matter of fact, all of my kids, to go to school and get their education. I'm so proud of you, son. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud. You gotta talk to your kids and go to school, visit the school. Parents have to be there.
Game 2 of the doubleheader, the Spurs and the Magic, a chance to watch the highly energized Dennis Rodman of San Antonio. Ironic, perhaps, that Rodman's initials are DR, as in defense and rebounding. In those two categories, he may be without peer in the NBA, unless you think that another DR, David Robinson, is in the same class. Our Ahmad Rashad talked with Rodman earlier in the week. This was before Rodman's headbutt of John Stockton drew him a one-game suspension. Here it is.
Look at me.
You hear a lot of negative things about Dennis Rodman, but people don't actually know Dennis Rodman.
'Cause I might be.
People want to come to the game and see controversy. They want to see something different.
The very last one that you'll ever see.
I'm my own man. I do what I want to do. Nobody can tell Dennis Rodman what to do unless he wants to do it.
I'm one of a kind.
When you play, there's always a smile. There is a joy, there is an enthusiasm that you always had, no matter what the situation, no matter how tough the game is. You can see the enjoyment in you as I watch you play.
I love going out there competing against the odds. It's like that I'm the oddball in this game. I'm the odd person in this game. But it seems like that everybody likes Dennis Rodman. Everybody loves the way I am. You know, I have no problem with that I'm like the oddball. I have a pierced navel, I have colored hair, I got tattoos, I got this and I got that. But it doesn't change the way I am inside. You know, I don't want no publicity. I don't want to be a superstar. I don't want to be a star. I want to go out there and get my nose broken. I want to go out there and get cut. I want to do this. I want to do that. Something that's going to really just bring out the hurt, the pain. I want to feel that. I want to feel like that I'm a ditch digger going out to work myself for 10 hours a day, 12 hours a day, going home and eating and say, God, it was a great day. Sometimes I get so frustrated because I didn't get the basketball. I didn't do this. I didn't do that. I look up, I got 22 rebounds, and I'm still saying I didn't do that. I didn't get the rebound when I know I should have. I'm a success because the heart is there. The desire, the will, the determination, the drive. Don't give up for no reason. I hear a lot of players, I hear it. They say, man, don't you ever stop to just take a break. No, man, I'm gonna kick your butt.
You and David Robinson, two totally different personalities. What's your relationship like with David?
You know, a lot of people call him the gentle giant. I call him like the greatest player in the game today. David knows when we're on the court together, I ask only one thing. I said, David, it's time for me and you to step up.
And I think just some of his craziness kind of has rubbed off on me. I watch him and I watch the unbelievable, intensity that he has rebounding, the relentlessness that he has, and I think sometimes you got to be a little bit crazy, a little bit edgy, and sometimes I see what's going on the court, some of the things that he's able to do, and I respect that.
The other day, it tripped me out, it shocked me. He almost got thrown out. He almost got thrown out again. I'm like, yeah, damn, I'm up here pumping him. Come on, Dave, say it again. If he was going to throw that, I was going to be right behind him. I just want to see David, by God, step up one time, by God, and put his foot down.
So now, when you came up with the colors, though, this year, that just a whim? Just that one day you said, well, maybe I might look better blonde.
I don't know, just something to do, something to do, It's just fun to do, just not to say that I'm trying to be different, but it was just something to do. But I'm not going to live as a robot or as someone paying me millions of dollars to say, you have to dress like that, you have to do this, you have to do that. Really? Do I have to do that? Is it going to make you happy that because I can dress in a suit and make you look good? I'm not going to do that. Everything I do is for a reason. It's a purpose behind it. But the purpose is to accomplish, at the end of the game, that W. That is it. That is it. If I do something distracting, that means there's a reason for that. There's a reason. As long as it helps my team, I don't care what it takes for me to do. Kicking the ball, throwing a computer on the floor and things like, I don't care. I love what I do, and I do it well. I make sure of that.
Now, it was just the one-game suspension. He served that already after the headbutt on John Stockton, so he is in the lineup today, later on when San Antonio hosts Orlando. If David Robinson holds on, and he's up by 1/10 of a point now on Shaquille, and he wins the scoring title, Rodman's a lock to win the rebounding title. It's never happened in NBA history where two guys on the same team led in scoring and rebounding. One guy's done it. Chamberlain did the double 5 times, and in the 50s, Neil Johnston did it once, and Bob Pettit did it once. But teammates separately have never led in those two categories. Now, speaking of the blonde hair, take a look at this, Doc, as the fashion consultant. Rodman says that he'll stick with the blonde hair at least until St. Patrick's Day. We can only assume that he then plans to undergo this transformation. That's if he goes more in the area of a lime rather than Kelly green, but the alternatives are so numerous for him.
Well, you're trying to get into his head and make him predictable, something that he clearly is not. You know, I remember Rodman's rookie year, and we played Detroit, and this guy took off and ran on the court on a fast break, and I couldn't catch him. And I just marveled that he had this great pair of legs. He was an intense defensive player, but he has truly evolved physically and mentally into the state that he's in right now. And I think he's happy with himself, but nobody can figure him out, and certainly you and I aren't going to do it enough to make this prediction. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time trying.
I thought he went to the blonde hair, though, after he saw Wesley Snipes in Demolition Man.
He probably did, but we'll find out on St. Patrick's Day what the next move is.
Good thing he didn't go to see Age of Innocence, otherwise he might have had it in a bun like Michelle Pfeiffer. Rodman and the Spurs versus the Magic following Chicago and Cleveland. We'll send you back to Richfield for the second half right after these messages from your local station.
This has been the Prudential Halftime Report, brought to you by the Prudential. Peace of mind. It comes with every piece of the rock.
It's a sensational Sunday on NBC. First, on an all-new eyewitness video, see incredible footage of a man's life and death struggle with a raging bull.
This bull was ready to kill anything that moved.
Then, it's a sensational adventure when the crew of the Sequest are threatened by a mysterious undersea force.
He's coming around for another strike.
Plus, there's sensational laughs when Martin Short and Danny Glover star in the outrageous comedy Pure Luck. Sensational Sunday starts at 7, 6 Central on NBC tonight.
What is Gai Choi?
Mustard greens.
What kind of nuts go in Kung Pao chicken?
Cashews and,
How can you get a full-time phone line at a part-time price?
What was that again?
You can't be an expert at everything. With US West Standby Line, you only pay for the time you use plus a small monthly fee. So it's the perfect additional line for faxes, credit cards, or those busy times when you need another phone line. Hey, you know Chinese food.
Forks are for wimps.
And we know phones. The small business group at US West.
Some people are pretty sure they're going to buy a Toyota Corolla DX until they find out the Honda Civic LX sedan gives you power windows, dual airbags, power door locks, cruise control, a tachometer, and a 4-speaker stereo cassette, all standard. And the Civic saves you almost $1,900 over a comparably equipped Corolla. Then they tend to reverse their position. Opt for the Civic from Honda.
Timberwolves take on Denver tonight.
The Cavaliers with a 54-49 lead on the Bulls as we head to the second half. And now let's go to Ahmad, to the only coach in the NBA who requests to be interviewed on TV.
Thanks, Marv. You know Marv is killing you. I just wanted to tell you that before we get... No. Okay, but now you applied early pressure in the first quarter. Seemed to go away from it a little bit in the second quarter. Will you go back?
couple things happened. First of all, Chicago is a team that averages about 23 free throw attempts per game and shoots 69%. They've got 19 free throw attempts already, and they're shooting 84 from the foul line. I think they're catching the ball in a little too deep, Ahmad. They're getting it right in front of the basket, which, we're committing fouls on it. And then we went through a stretch offensively where we were impatient. One pass, shot one up, and that was when Mark Price went out of the game, and we tried to carry it from there.
What is the condition of Mark Price?
His knee was badly bruised. He's having a problem loosening it back up. They put so much ice on it, they froze the thing. We can't get that thing thawed out.
All right, Mike, good luck to you in the second half.
Thank you.
All right, back to you, Marv.
Thank you, Ahmad. In the first half, Matt, as you check the stat sheet, Scottie Pippen only 4 shot attempts, perhaps trying not to do as much as he was attempting I guess since the All-Star break, the last 10 games, there has been the talk that he's trying to do too many things.
Well, he still managed to score 11 points and pull down 8 rebounds. He shot 7 for 8 from the free throw line, but as Scotty told me today, the coaches talked to him about it. You have to start trusting your teammates. This is how we had success before the All-Star break. Yes, there are going to be times when we call on you for more offensive play, but let's get the other players involved, and to Scotty's credit, he has done that in this first half.
2 out of 4 from the field for Pippen, 11 points, 8 rebounds. A look at the Miller Genuine Grant halftime statistics. The Bulls, 16 of 37, 43%. The Cavaliers, 20 of 47, also at 43%. Mark Price went out briefly with a bruised knee. 4 points for Price, but he does have 8 assists. And off the board, edge for the Cavaliers, 25-21. A strong first half for Tyrone Hill, although he does have 3 personal fouls. Cavaliers by 5 as we head to the second half. We'll be back in a moment.
Let me guess. Spicy chicken sandwich.
Have you noticed that people who like Wendy's spicy chicken like to step out a bit, live on the wild side?
My daughter thinks it's too much. No way.
That's because our whole chicken breast fillet has Dave's fiery blend of pepper and spices for a hot and spicy taste.
So how much are you asking?
The bike for the jacket.
So try Wendy's spicy chicken sandwich and go wild.
Dad, is that you?
Something, huh?
Another company may be promising your business big savings compared to AT&T, but they're comparing apples to oranges. When you compare our best price to theirs, you'll discover leaving AT&T doesn't make a lot of sense.
How come your cold symptoms come back? Your pill doesn't last 24 hours. Effidac 24 does.
Most cold pills last 6 hours, the rest 12. But one Effidac gives consistent relief 24 hours.
24-hour Effidac. Keeps cold symptoms from coming back.
This car is 18 feet long, weighs over 2 tons, has dual airbags, anti-lock brakes, and a sophisticated impact management system. The new Neon also has dual airbags, available anti-lock brakes, and a sophisticated impact management system. The rich, it would appear, do not have it all. Say hello to Neon. $89.75 for starters, $12.5 nicely loaded.
There's an untold story about Nancy Kerrigan that only she can tell. It's a very special exclusive you won't want to miss. Watch Dateline NBC Tuesday.
Cavaliers 54 and the Bulls 49. Both clubs making their way onto the floor for the second half. Pippen, despite taking only 4 shots with 11 points, he's the high man for Chicago. Horace Grant has 10. And Bobby Phills, who jump-started the Cavaliers with 15 at the half. 5 of 9 from the field, 5 of 7 from the line. But Phills, like Hill, playing with 3 fouls. Mark Price on a lead for Hot Rod Williams and a holding foul.
Foul is on
Horace Grant. For Grant, that is his first. So Price and Wilkins in the backcourt. Williams with Hill and Phills up front. Cavaliers have won 9 straight. They have won 10 of their last 11. They come in at 34 and 24. Chicago Bulls struggling recently, 37 and 20 for the season. They have dropped 4 in a row and 7 of their last 10. Shot clock at 5. Hill was in, but not able to complete it.
That time the Bulls coming down to double-team Hill once he put the ball on the floor. Very few big men, once they put it down on the deck, ever do anything but shoot it. but Hill got a second opportunity in there. He's done a terrific job on the offensive boards. His fifth in this ballgame.
And Gerald Wilkins called for this foul on Scottie Pippen.
He's riding his shoulder all the way, but doing the wise thing with Scottie, forcing him to his left. When Scottie first came into the league, he was not nearly an effective player going to his left hand, pretty much strictly a right-hand guy, and was a guy that you gave the jump shot to. Of course, he has improved in both of those areas over time. I guess those one-on-one games and practices with Michael Jordan will do that.
Yes, those are difficult practice sessions. Michael Jordan practiced very hard in the same manner the way he played.
And when Scottie came into the league, he was not a good practice player, but the surrounding of Michael Jordan with not only him, but the rest of the ball club made everybody get in line.
Cavaliers lead by 3. Armstrong knocked it away. Myers chased down by Price. And the foul on Mark Price, his third.
And a hard one as Pete Myers has something to say to referee Derek Stafford and also to Mark Price, who has taken a step. So Mark very unhappy with that turnover. He's one of the best in the league in assist-turnover ratio. He's going to make sure on this foul here. Pete Myers just questioned to ask if that may have been a flagrant foul. Just a question.
Myers just under 69%. From the foul line. Chicago Bulls, not a team that usually goes to the line frequently, averaging under 23 per game, but already that's 23 from the foul line. And they have hit their foul shots here this afternoon. 20 of 23.
And mainly because Scottie Pippen is 7 for 8 and Horace Grant 4 for 6. They're two questionable free throw shooters.
Cavaliers lead is 1. They've led by as many as 10. Chicago with a good run in the second quarter. At one point led by 7. Hot Rod Williams.
Hot Rod Williams.
He is 6 of 8, 12 points.
Well, Big John started in the low post there, but feels much more comfortable, pretty much like Patrick Ewing, in stepping out and facing the basket. And he can give some centers problems there because big guys don't like to go out there and defend.
Myers with the handoff for Longley. Nicely done by Pete Myers, and Longley has come up with 10 points.
I don't care how good your defense is. If you let an offensive player beat you off the dribble, get into the lane, bad things are going to happen to your defense.
Here is Fills. Rebounded by Grant. Armstrong accelerates. Crowd wanted to travel. Price eluding Grant. Has a 3-on-2. The look away for Wilkins, eluding Myers.
Well, B.J. Armstrong looks like he is shaken up right here, as the Bulls will no doubt take the 22nd timeout. But B.J. Armstrong on that last possession had the open floor, and he made up his mind to drive the ball at Mark Price, who has 2 personal fouls. Here's B.J. as he appeared to be in discomfort before he released that shot, as he starts to hobble off down the aisle. As he hobbles, whether it's his knee or ankle, we do not know at this point. But the 22nd timeout taken by the Chicago Bulls.
He tried to work it off, and now he is being helped off by his teammates.
Well, the open floor situation, B.J. Armstrong going one-on-one against Mark Price, realizing that Mark Price has 3 personal fouls, and I think trying to force the action, see if he could not pick up the 4th on Price. Out of control, and he'll have to go to the locker room to get checked out by Chip Schaefer.
Let's check it out with Ahmad Rashad. Ahmad?
All right, Marv, I just spoke with Chip Schaefer, and obviously B.J. Armstrong has sprained his left ankle. He has been taken to the locker room for further tests. Marv?
All right, the word from Bulls trainer Chip Schaefer. So Mark Price was helped off in the first quarter, and now B.J. Armstrong heads back to the locker room. They double up on Pippen. Grant with the open shot. Rebounded by Longley. Luke Longley is hurting. The Cavaliers only his 3rd start as a member of the Bulls. A host of centers on this Chicago Bulls roster, and Longley, after coming over from Minnesota, has emerged as the starter.
And during this 4-game losing streak, actually Luke Longley has played pretty well. As Bobby Phil gets in there, takes contact, and still knocks the shot down. Very athletic player. Bobby Phil's only 6'5", playing that small forward position defensively right now against Scottie Pippen because the Cavaliers feel he's their best defensive player.
Cavaliers lead by 3. Steve Kerr has replaced B.J. Armstrong. Pippen has a mismatch with Price. Try to beat the 24, but it is a violation.
Well, you said it, Marv, the mismatch. Price in all kinds of trouble. Tried to get around in front. Scottie Pippen. The Bulls explored it, stay with it, but just the shot clock wound down on him as Scottie Pippen finally gets the pass, but too little too late as the Cavaliers actually get a break there.
Cleveland Cavaliers have won 21, lost 9 here at home. They've won their last 4 at the Coliseum and 7 of their last 8. They have 15 on the shot clock. 8.5 remaining. Third quarter. Price on a quick release. The save, but handled by Myers.
Mark Price getting some good looks at the basket. Can't knock his jump shot down yet, but he's got 8 assists in this ball game.
And again, rebounded by Hill. Hill with 11 off the board. Fills. Back comes Pippen. And the trailing official with the call. Paul Mahalik indicating the foul on Myers, who got involved with Wilkins. That's 4 on Myers.
Well, that's a strange time to grab a player when the Bulls were going on a fast break opportunity. It's usually the other way around where you try to grab that player either around the waist or hold him by his shorts momentarily to swing him away. And now the officials, Paul Mahalik and Jack Madden, getting it cleared up. Phil Jackson spotted something. Offensive foul is being called on Pete Myers because the Bulls have possession of the basketball. Ball rebounded here over on the right side. Keep an eye on the left as Pete Myers, trying to get out on the break, swings Gerald Wilkins around and picks up that offensive foul.
Price with the fake on Kerr, going high off the glass. Giving the Cavaliers a 62-57 lead. Mark Price is now 2 for 10 from the field. Longley comes out. Pippen. Myers. Longley with a nice move. Luke Longley with a very impressive performance. He now has 14 points. Remember, Luke Longley was a #1 draft pick of the Timberwolves, the 7th selection overall. Pippen with the rebound. Spent 2 years in Minnesota. Certainly had his ups and downs, but has come on as a starter for the Bulls. Cavaliers lead by 3. Grant. And again, Hill rebounds.
Grant forcing it in there as all the Bulls were converged in and underneath the basket.
Bills and another assist for Price. Mark Price with his 11th assist. The Cavaliers 64, the Bulls 59. Shot clock down to 7. Myers felt the contact from Phil's.
Timeout, Cleveland Cavaliers.
Now, Mark Price and Steve Kerr, teammates here in Cleveland for 3 years, know each other very well. Lots of one-on-one games. Mark Price with a little head fake gets in and around the basket. Mark cannot put it in the basket right now, but people like Williams and Hill cleaning up on the boards.
NBA Inside Stuff, Saturdays on NBC.
$3 Miller Genuine Draft.
Cold filtered Miller Genuine Draft. The cold one. For those who've discovered its smooth draft taste, the world is a very cool place.
The price
price of freedom just came down with the new 1994 Chrysler LeBaron convertible. V6 power, air, automatic, driver and front passenger airbags, all complete for this. Now you can have your head in the clouds and still keep your feet on the ground. The new 1994 Chrysler LeBaron convertible, an eloquent expression of form following function.
If you want to move ahead in any career, you have to know what most employers want. Like how to work with a team, how to handle responsibility, how to take on a tough job and see it through. You can learn all these things in the Army, so when you do set off on the road to success, you'll already be in the driver's seat.
NBA on NBC is brought to you by cold-filtered Miller Genuine Draft. Get out of the old, get into the cold. By AT&T, the official telecommunications company of the NBA. And by Chrysler Plymouth, a division of the Chrysler Corporation.
Back at the Coliseum for our latest injury report. This one on B.J. Armstrong. Let's go over to Ahmad.
All right, Marv, I just checked in the locker room, and B.J. has sprained his ankle, but he's had it x-rayed. He's having the ankle return. And
well, we're having some audio problems. I wonder if the czar got a hold of the equipment. But what Ahmad said was he is having the ankle retaped. As you look at how the injury occurred, and after this, Matt, he came up hobbling.
Well, Scotty, B.J. Armstrong forcing action there as B.J. has not missed a game in over 3 years. Has been a very durable player. He has struggled of late. It really hasn't shown up statistically as we look at all the games missed by the Chicago Bulls. B.J. shooting 4 for 17 in the loss to Portland the other night. Of course, hurt their chances. The Bulls got off to a good start in that ball game. Had a very strong first quarter and then ran out of gas. So I think the Bulls are in a position right now where they're just trying to play longer stretches of good basketball. Right now, their offense is a little bit stagnant, and they're trying to do too much one-on-one after the first 2 or 3 options of the triangle do not show up.
Cavaliers lead by 3, 6 minutes remaining. In the third quarter, and a foul is called as Hill try to convert on the putback. And Luke Longley is called for his third.
Once again, the penetration there by Gerald Wilkins getting into the teeth of the Chicago Bull defense, opening up another opportunity for Tyrone Hill, who is very active around the glass.
Very poor free throw shooter, 65% from the line. Well, B.J. Armstrong, we cover it all, putting his socks on. A live shot of B.J. getting ready to make his return. The Cavaliers 65 and the Bulls 61. Next, you will see B.J. tying the shoelaces.
Scottie Pippen and the rookie Chris Mills are really poking away at each other. They seemingly some kind of a little altercation every time down the floor.
And again, it's Hill trying to bang it off Myers, but apparently he was out of bounds. Pete Myers was arguing the call. Let's see how Paul Mahalik sorts it out. Yes, he said that nice try, but he was out of bounds.
Quick thinking by Tyrone Hill trying to whip it off the leg of Pete Myers, but as we know, when you are standing out of bounds, you are part of out of bounds. We used to love that play in the playground. We used to argue that for 15, 20 minutes. And
deflected off Hill, who was out of bounds, and that is a leg block.
Got a kick shot. Reset those shots.
So they reset the 24.
Action has slowed down considerably. The pressure defense by both teams has tailed off, and consequently, we're not getting turnovers or steals or very many fast break opportunities.
Longley went to the second and third option, did not have it. Kerr shooting. Longley with the back tap handled by Price. It's now 2 for 11. Pippen pushes it down. Myers lost it. He thought he was fouled. Price on the run. Around Longley. Wilkins. Cavaliers lead 67-61. Gerald Wilkins has 9 points.
And Mark Price went down again, slow getting up, and it looks like he's going to be all right.
Oh, a reverse move by Myers and tipped home by Longley. Cavaliers lead by 4. Luke Longley has matched his season high. He has 16, and here comes B.J. Armstrong making his way back toward the Chicago bench. Longley did not go for the fake from Hill. Bangs it off him. Another schoolyard play.
that play didn't work before. He thought he'd try it again. Of course, Tyrone Hill out of his element outside as Mark Price forced to put up another difficult degree of difficulty shot, I should say, as Price goes tumbling to the floor. Pete Myers doing a good job in his ball game of taking the ball to the basket.
And with the shot clock running down, Williams making it 8 of 10 from the field, 16 points. Grant, yes, Horace Grant with 12, things picking up. Cavaliers now lead 69-65. 4 minutes remaining, third quarter. Marv Alvin with Mandukas and Ahmad Rashad from the Coliseum in Richfield. Williams looked to make the move around Longley and took a hip check.
Pet play of the Cleveland Cavaliers, 2-man game with Mark Price, one of the best in the business, running a pick and roll or pick and fade situation with John Williams, who likes to step out and shoot the jumper. His defenders know that, but if you come up on him, he has the ability to put it on the floor and go to the basket.
Tyrone Hill sitting down. 12 rebounds, 13 points. Replaced by the rookie Chris Mills. Bill Wennington to look on with Kerr with the steal from Price. And Kerr was stopped by Price. Myers on the rebound. Myers works his way inside.
Steve Kerr can't believe that referee Jack Madden did not make that call. Good hustle by Mark Price to get back into the play there and stop it, as referee Paul Mahalik has some words for Horace Grant and Chris Mills, who's been in the middle of a lot of action in this ballgame, and a lot of it is talking and pushing and shoving.
Mills got involved on a couple of occasions earlier with Pippen. And the Cavaliers lead 69-67. Williams through the foul, so Hot Rod Williams will go to the line.
Mark Price has had a couple of turnovers in this ballgame. A little crossover move. Steve Kerr knocks it away. And Price coming back and getting all ball in there. Looked like a good call by the officials there. Steve Kerr did not concur. But good hustle by Price, who normally does not turn the ball over in that situation.
Foul on Grant, his second. Hot Rod Williams, a 74% free throw shooter, way off. Hot Rod in his 8th year out of Tulane. 4 years left on that $26.5 million 7-year offer sheet. Last season bothered by a hand injury. Lost his lateral movement. Has come on very strong this season. Filling in for the injured Brad Doherty.
As you pointed out, Marty has not done it against some of the better centers in the league, but as Mike Fratello pointed out, it'll be interesting to see how they guard him, because he can take them outside, and if they do come out, he'll go by them.
Foul on the Cavaliers. With just under 3 minutes remaining, third quarter, timeout is called.
Timeout.
Every Neon comes with an advanced single overhead cam 16-valve engine. And its 132 high-tech horses should come in mighty handy when you're trying to coax your car onto a freeway. Say hello to Neon. $89.75 for starters, $12.5 nicely loaded.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
Charles, you are a role model.
I'm out of here. Bye-bye. Hey, Mike, I got my own shoes. My own initials on it.
Yeah? Well, I have my own shoes with my own name on it.
Well, can you do this in your shoe, Mr. I don't play anymore?
Yeah, but I don't have to. I'm retired.
I'm not. My shoes got this strap. Laces. Black. White. White's wimpy. And you can't keep it clean.
Size 13.
16.
Ooh. Nike Air.
Mine's got more.
I went ball first.
Did not.
Did too.
Dad's picking up dinner. Grilling pizza or another bucket of chicken. No, he's going for our new Taco Bell Big Bell dinner pack. Our dad? Tacos and burritos and packs of 6, 10, or 15? With humongous sides of rice, beans, and chips? A complete family meal starting at $5.99? This could change everything. Yeah, Mom will get a raging deal. Dad will some kicking gear. We'll become a cool family.
Hey, campers, who wants tacos?
Well, at least dinner won't be lame.
These 7 men are all in pursuit of the one goal that has eluded them so far. The quest for NBA glory, next Sunday on NBC.
Well, the past couple of weeks, Scottie Pippen and Charles Barkley of the Phoenix Suns have been involved in verbal sparring sessions. Barkley lashing out at some of the Bulls for not giving Michael Jordan enough credit. Pippen feels Barkley hasn't given him the proper respect and says Barkley is not among the elite players. We talked about all this earlier with Scottie Pippen.
Well, I just felt like it was time for somebody to speak out. I think Charles feel like that he's been put away or put up on the pedestal among all the other players in the game. And he's, to me, not a legend to this game. He's not up on a pedestal as a Michael or Larry or Magic or an Isaiah. And I think it was time somebody spoke up and put him in his place.
And so Charles Barkley's response to Scottie Pippen being upset the other day, and he had a little smile on his face and seemed a little bit contrite and upset that Scottie took it so personally, and he said that it really messed up his golf game that day.
Yes. But I think both are beginning to hit a nerve.
Oh, yes. Yes. And they are somewhat friendly enemies, being teammates on Dream Team 1. And, of course, opponents in the last year's finals where those two had words and a lot of talking going on during those ball games. It was an outstanding final.
The Bulls 23 of 26 from the line. Grant now 5 of 8 from the free throw line. Cleveland has a 2-point lead with just under 3 minutes remaining in the third quarter. A little overreaction by Pete Myers. That could lead to a technical foul. The officials are very compassionate. Myers fell to the floor to complain about the call. That's number 5 on Myers. And Pete very fortunate right here, Matt. Watch this.
And this is Pete Myers' reaction to a lot of calls that go against him. He is foul prone. He's very aggressive, very feisty defensive player, gets his hands on a lot of people, but the officials do not take kindly to that, and I would not be surprised if he just touches anybody. The next time at either end of the floor, they will call a foul. However, John Paxson will rescue him for the moment.
Number 5.
Myers sitting down 3 of 4 from the field, 4 for 4 from the line, 10 points, but 5 personal fouls. And Gerald Wilkins gives the Cavaliers a 4-point lead. Grant was given the room. Air ball fielded by Wilkins.
And not a good shot there, as again a couple of options break down, and this is where the Bulls seem to get confused and lose that confidence in one another. That's a bad shot by Horace Grant.
Price, well, he is looking to get going, but off the mark. 2 of 13 from the field, and as a result, has taken some bad shots, if there is such a thing, for Mark Price. Scottie Pippen bringing Chicago with him, too.
And that is the Chicago Bulls offense. Get it into the post and start to make your cuts, and then good shots will show. They have to trust it. They're not going to change that offense at this point in the season. It's been good to them for a number of years. It's been good to them at the beginning of this year. They just have to trust it and play it.
Terrell Brandon getting set to check in for the Cavaliers. Wilkins rebounded by Wennington. Now Pippen played by Mills. Paxson and Kerr in the backcourt. Grant, Wennington, Pippen on the front line. Shot clock at 7. Shot clock at 2. Paxson. And Nance able to get to it with 1 minute and 15 to go in the third. fake. Did not have the shot. So the ball goes back to the Bulls.
Scottie Pippen getting down on the baseline. Initially picked up by John Hot Rod Williams, and then Chris Mills, the rookie, turning his head the wrong way. And anytime you're in the corner on a triangle offense and the ball goes into the post, the number one move you make is back cut, go right to the basket. Beautifully executed by Grant Pippen.
Well, B.J. Armstrong apparently all right back on the floor. Mark Price sitting down. Foul called on Nance. Mark Price, 2 of 13 from the field. Does have 11 assists, but the shooting has been way off. And there's Mark. Hurt his knee in the first quarter. Well, Brandon has checked back in. Steve Kerr to the foul line. Mark Price had only 12 points Thursday against the 76ers following that season high of 32 against Boston. He had said, he told us yesterday, fatigue set in for the Cavaliers and for him on Thursday night.
Mark Price in the first meeting between the Bulls and the Cavaliers scored just 4 points in that ball game. Chicago winning it. In the last 2 in which Cleveland won, he averaged 20 points a game.
The Cavaliers lead by 1. They've led by as many as 10. At one stretch, the Bulls had a 7-point lead. Terrell Brandon. Rebounded by Larry Nance, and he is fouled.
And the Cavaliers continue to have their way on the offensive glass against the Chicago Bulls rookie Chris Mills, who pulled down 12 rebounds in 28 minutes the other night, kept this one alive, and gave Larry Nance an opportunity to try to get that acrobatic shot in as Czar looks on. And again, the hand gestures, the arm gestures. Did he talk with his hands when he was with you?
I would say it was a question when he did not talk, using the hand expression. And last foul called on Scottie Pippen, his third. Cavaliers by 3. 25 seconds remaining, third quarter. Six on the 24. Double dribble is called on Steve Kerr.
And there again, that's an opportunity for Scottie Pippen to take the ball out at the top of the key, spread the offense, look for Scottie to penetrate and kick out to an Armstrong return. This shows you the way that the Bulls are thinking and playing right now. They just don't have it together.
Final seconds of the third quarter. Nance passed the shot, and let's see. Well, would have been too late. He tried to race the clock. After 3, Cavaliers by 3. Luke Longley with a strong third quarter. 8 of the 16 in the third.
The thinking behind Neon's cab-forward body design is really quite simple. Move some things around. Pull the wheels farther apart, push the windshield forward, and voila. Now machinery gets less room and people get more room. Hey, this calls for a little traveling music. Say hello to Neon. $89.75 for starters, $12.5. Nicely loaded.
If you could have anything in the whole world, what would you want?
I want the inside stuff.
Are you sure?
I want it.
You got it. Tearing up the tundra in Alaska, this high school phenom comes in from the cold to show us his inside stuff. You with me so far?
I got it.
Back on the mainland, Bobby Hurley's on the comeback trail. We hope to see this real soon. And if you missed anything this week, you'll catch it in Rewind. Inside stuff. You can't beat it with a stick. Saturday on NBC.
And that's the inside stuff.
Fred Dreyer, Day of Reckoning, NBC Monday.
Hi, I'm Jim Palmer. There's still time to refinance your home at the Money Store, even if you have less than perfect credit. Over the last year, thousands of homeowners across America have refinanced their mortgages with the Money Store. You can apply by phone anytime at the Money Store, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and there's never an application fee. So to refinance your mortgage, even if your credit is less than perfect, call the Money Store at 1-800-LOAN-YES. The Money Store, where America goes for money.
Is there such a thing as a lease that's fun? Well, if it's a lease on a new 1994 four-wheel drive Isuzu Rodeo, there is. Because of just $269 a month, it makes enjoying the big-time fun of a rodeo really easy. And if you don't believe us, just look how much fun our lawyers had with it. Geez, guys, not that much fun. Oof. Come on.
Offer not valid on Mars or other non-terrestrial sites.
Sheesh. Isuzu, practically amazing.
Timberwolves take on Denver tonight.
This copyrighted telecast of the National Basketball Association may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of the NBA.
The man is everywhere.
I thought he ran out of those hats.
You know,
I thought they were sold out.
No, you know they were not sold out. You know he got to the camera people. The Cavaliers of Mike Fratello with a 74-71 lead over the Bulls of Phil Jackson as we head to the fourth quarter. The foul rundown, Bobby Phills with 4, Tyrone Hill, Mark Price, Larry Nance, each have 3. Pete Myers sitting down after picking up his 5th. Luke Longley has 4, 3 on Scottie Pippen. Scott Williams is back on the floor. Unable to hit on that attempt. Corey Blount has checked in for the first time as a foul is called.
So the unusual starting lineup here for the start of the fourth period for Chicago. Blount, who had a very good scoring and rebounding game against Portland the other night, and Scott Williams, 2 big forwards with Bill Wennington. Scottie Pippen has moved down to the guard spot.
Oh, nice pass from Brandon. Williams with the bucket, and he was fouled. A bullet throw by Terrell Brandon. Bill Wennington called for the personal.
Pick and roll situation off the elbow, and a very difficult thread-the-needle type pass by Terrell Brandon, but he found John Williams nicely. And this is now a bigger front line for Chicago to try to do a better job on the boards, but a much slower one, and will have trouble keeping up with the quicker front line of Cleveland.
Hot Rod Williams with 20 points. He's the high scorer for Cleveland. And they lead 77-71. As Bill Wennington, along with Scott Williams and the rookie from the University of Cincinnati, Corey Blount, are up front. That's deflected out by Wilkins. B.J. Armstrong and Scottie Pippen in the backcourt.
I was going to be interested to see how long Phil Jackson stay with his lineup, and my question has been answered. Horace Grant, who has played a lot of minutes today after missing Friday night totally against the Portland Trail Blazers and didn't play at all in the first half against the Lakers on Wednesday. He's back in there.
35 minutes for Horace Grant. The steal by Brandon. 2-on-1. Brandon all the way. Beautiful move. Right to the left hand to protect against the defender Pippen. And the Bulls call for time. Well, Terrell Brandon off the bench to provide the spark once again.
A careless pass here by Scottie Pippen, and also Scott Williams does not come out to meet the ball, and that enabled Terrell Brandon to shoot the gap, challenges Pippen all the way to the basket. Once again, Terrell Brandon with those quick hands as the Chicago Bulls having all kinds of problems in their half-court offense.
Shaq, Mr. Robinson, the Magic beat the Spurs, next on NBC.
Introducing the all-new 1994 two-door Camry Coupe. Any guesses where we got the idea? The new Toyota Camry Coupe, developed and built in America. Everyone wants their ideas to look good. But not everyone has a desk jet. Yet. DeskJet printers from Hewlett-Packard. Make it happen.
There's only one beer with pure refreshment written all over it. Cold unfiltered Miller Genuine Draft and MGD Light. Why so many people are getting out of the old and into the cold.
Miller Genuine Draft presents Genuine Moments.
Well, today's Miller Genuine Draft Genuine Moment takes us back to Game 5, 1989 Eastern Conference Playoffs. Michael Jordan hit what is known in Cleveland as the shot. The Bulls eliminated the Cavs in 5. As if that wasn't enough, last year's Eastern Conference semis ended when Michael hit that shot over Gerald Wilkins. The Bulls winning 103-101, completing a 4-game sweep. In recognition of these moments, Miller Genuine Draft will donate $1,000 to the Thurgood Marshall Scholarship Fund. And the Bulls, of course, went on to win their 3rd straight NBA championship. In the regular season, they went 57-25. In the playoffs, they swept Atlanta in 3, beat Cleveland, beat the Knicks in 6 after losing the first 2, and then won the title in that grueling 6-game set with Phoenix. Scott Williams. His first field goal. The Cavaliers 79, the Bulls 73.
One of the rare perimeter jump shots for Chicago in this second half. The triangle offense is a jump shooting offense, and so far the Bulls have not shot it well from the outside, and they're not getting their share of fast breaks. Their best player in the middle is Scottie Pippen. They're just not getting him the ball after stops.
And Mills took the shoulder. That jump shot by Scott Williams ended an 8-0 run by Cleveland. Horace Grant collects his 3rd. So Chris Mills will go to the line. We mentioned earlier that he has come a long way in the free throw shooting department, turning it around. Now, he's one of those guys noted as a tweener at about 6'6". That hurt his draft status. Up to number 22 on the first round. There was the thought he might go higher.
A lot of people thought he'd be in that 9, 10, 11 category. He's a very good rebounder for a so-called small forward. Known as a shooter, however, he has not shot the ball particularly well this year. You talked earlier about how well he's shooting free throws, but free throws.
Yes. 6-point Cleveland lead. Kick ball is called. Reset the 24. Now Tyrone Hill checks back in. Hot Rod Williams. Here's the applause. 20 points on 9 of 12 from the field, along with 5 rebounds, 4 assists for Hot Rod. Hill has played well. Bad pass. Scottie Pippen's pass drifting away, and the ball goes back to the Cavaliers.
Chicago going to their isolation post up for Pippen. The Cavaliers wouldn't hear anything of it. They double-teamed him right away and forced that terrible pass to Scott Williams.
Chicago with its 14th turnover. Cleveland with 8. Brandon for Nance. Larry Nance with 6 points, and he has played a bit more than Mike Fratello and the coaching staff had anticipated. They thought he'd play just limited this afternoon. Scott Williams banking on Tyrone Hill. 3-second violation on Chicago.
Now everybody who's getting the ball is standing around, and I shouldn't say standing around, but putting the ball on the floor, and the other players are standing around. And this is the way the Bulls have played since the All-Star break for much of every game, and it's what's costing them, and that causes the concerned look on everybody's face.
Cleveland with the ball. They lead by 8. Myers back on the floor, playing with the 5 fouls. Scottie Pippen sitting down. There's B.J. Armstrong dumping it off for Horace Grant. And the Cavaliers now lead 81-75. 15 points for Grant. My man is Luke Longley with 16. He had 8 of the 16 in the 3rd quarter. Brandon off the hesitation move. Rebounded by Williams. Had it knocked away. Brandon and Wellington able to get to it.
I wonder, Barb, how many times the Chicago center, I'm sure this year or any other year, has been the high scorer for their team.
I don't think it's occurred. Nice setup called.
The foul is on Harold Wilkins. That's his third.
BJ trying to pick up the tempo a little bit offensively as he gets himself into the lane.
Bobby Fields.
Nice dish off there. He made a nice pick and roll situation develop between Horace Grant as both of the Eastern point guard all-stars having their problems from the field. However, Mark Price has dished off 11 assists, and Mark Price doesn't always have to score to help this team win. He knows who can do it out on the floor. He's got Larry Nance back right now. Bobby Phills has played well. Gerald Wilkins can get the hot hand on any given night. So Mark Price, although he looked at sometimes a little bit over-eager in this ball game, forcing some shots up, he doesn't necessarily have to make shots.
And both Price and Armstrong have come up hobbling today. Price injuring his knee in the first quarter, but able to return. Armstrong went down with an ankle, but he is back on the floor. Cavaliers lead 81-77. 4 minutes gone by in the fourth quarter. Matt, you posed an intriguing question concerning a center leading the Bulls in scoring over the last 3 or 4 years. Nice tip. Larry Nance with 8 points. I think you'd have to go back, if there was such a thing, in this Chicago championship reign where perhaps they were blown out and maybe Jordan was hurt, but I don't think you'll find it.
No, and there's nothing wrong with it because, again, this Bulls team is different, and they're going to have to get it from different people on different nights. Scottie Pippen doesn't have to be the high scorer. In fact, when he is dishing the ball around to other people, getting rebounds, scoring around 20 a game, and then maybe catching a P.J. Armstrong having a hot game or Steve Kerr, that's when the Bulls are playing their best.
Well, P.J. Armstrong with only his second field goal. He has 6 points. Cavaliers lead 83-79. Certainly as earlier days, Bill Cartwright was a big-time scorer, but that has changed. The whole style of his game has changed in the Chicago offense. Hill leaping for that rebound. And a foul is called as Wellington is shaken up.
Now, Bill stood in there and held his ground. Bill Wellington.
That's 4 on Hill.
Is somewhat shaken up on the play. Mike Fratello cannot believe the call, as it looked like a flop from everybody's vantage point as Bill Wellington got himself out of that play by diving.
Cavaliers by 4. 7 minutes, 5 seconds to go in the fourth. Armstrong foul. So BJ to the line. Phil's called for the foul.
But this guy, any deodorant will do. But these guys need Speed Stick, antiperspirant that gives 110%. And now Speed Stick deodorant has a powerful new formula to fight odor. Speed Stick, for movers and shakers, the #1, the only one.
Now that's a beautiful cup.
Hurry to McDonald's for your favorite extra value meal. And for 39 cents more, supersize it and get one of 6 MVP collector cups free, including Charles Barkley, plus 5 other players.
What other players?
This is a line. To some, it is seen as a barrier. To others, it's a point where traditions of the past are abandoned in favor of visions of the future. Introducing the revolutionary new Toyota Supra. It's taken everything sports cars were before and crossed the line.
The NBA on NBC is brought to you by Toyota and their full line of quality cars and trucks. Toyota, I love what you do for me. By Speed Stick Deodorant and Speed Stick Antiperspirant, the #1 for movers and shakers. And by Coca-Cola Classic, always the real thing, always Coca-Cola.
Well, Well, this season, the Cleveland Indians will be playing in a brand new ballpark right across the street, opening in the fall, the Arena at Gateway. Located in the heart of downtown Cleveland, the arena will be the new home of the Cleveland Cavaliers. Cavs have played their home games at the Coliseum. Well, they're ready for the Cavs and the Bulls, huh? Cavs have played here at the Coliseum in Richfield since October of 1974. Work still being done on the new arena, but when completed, the new structure at Gateway will hold just over 20,000 for basketball.
And they're really doing some terrific things in downtown Cleveland, the area where we are staying, a beautiful mall, and this city has been rejuvenated over the last couple of mayoral terms, so it's nice to see. Cleveland has gone through a long stretch of people just moving out to the suburbs, and obviously here the team coming out to Richfield.
And the Chamber of Commerce getting to Mac.
Oh, I read up on my trip here to Cleveland.
Last foul on Bobby Phills, his 5th. So Phills and Myers each with 5. B.J. Armstrong bringing the Bulls within 3 points. Bobby Phills back on the bench.
B.J. has picked it up the last couple of minutes. His jump shot has not been going, so he has concentrated on taking the ball into the middle more and trying to create something there for his teammates.
Cavaliers 83, the Bulls 81. Mills, Nance, and Hill up front. Brandon and Wilkins in the backcourt. Shot clock at 6. Here is Wilkins for 3. Yes. Gerald Wilkins has improved his touch from 3-point range.
And he hesitated on that shot, and it's so difficult to reload like that, but he kept his eye on the rim all the way. A beautiful form there, as he has worked very hard in the offseason on improving his shooting technique.
He's right around 38% from downtown. Myers from deep. Grant able to get to it. Here's Myers. Oh, what a move by Pete Myers. The Cavaliers 86, the Bulls 83.
And Pete is fired up. I'm a little surprised Phil Jackson didn't go to the bench after that first shot deep in the corner. Not what they were looking for, but good hustle play to get it back and stick it in.
Myers has 12 points. Just under 6 minutes remaining in this fourth quarter. Williams over to help out a double team. Brandon indicating the timeout. Good play. He was in big trouble.
He was very well trapped in there by Scott Williams and B.J. Armstrong, and the heads-up play to get the stoppage of play to retain possession. Pete Myers getting the nice feed from Horace Grant after the terrible shot from the corner as he fires the fist in the air. He's trying to do whatever he can to get his team going. He is new to this mix this season as he benefits from the retirement of Michael Jordan, getting a chance, and he started the first 51 games this year.
And he admits he doesn't have the same energy that he had earlier in the year. Says he's hit the wall. This is a guy who has had many locations along the basketball beat. Originally drafted by Chicago in the 6th round back in '86. Spent 86, 87 with the Bulls, then Rockford in the CBA, San Antonio, the Knicks, New Jersey, San Antonio again. Spent the last 2 years in Europe. And now back with the Bulls.
And he has had to endure a lot of talk about the Bulls acquiring a shooting guard to replace Michael Jordan. And that would indicate that they're not satisfied with him. He took it all in good stride. He said, I'm just here to help this team the best I can. I'll go out and do whatever I have to do.
5 on the 24. Price, who just checked back in, continues to have his difficulties. 2 for 14 from the field. And he is a player who can turn it very quickly, as you have seen firsthand.
You are not going to stop guarding him under any circumstances. Very, very dangerous from any spot on the floor, in particular behind the arc.
Down to 4 on the shot clock. Again, it is Myers. The Bulls are within 1 point. With a gorgeous move. He has 6. He was able to slice his way through, and the Cavaliers lead by 3.
Anytime the playbook breaks down, guys like Mills, Field, and Gerald Wilkins are going to try to drive into the lane and create something, and they've done a good job of it in this ballgame.
Foul committed by Price, and that is his 4th. Here's Hot Rod Williams returning.
Once that ball goes into the post, man in the corner, cuts along the baseline, and Pete Myers does it again to get another big field goal to bring the Bulls within one, as Chris Mills on the up and under on a nice move by the rookie from Arizona.
4.5 remaining in the fourth quarter. Scott Williams posting up on Hot Rod Williams, and Pippen missed the putback. Bulls get back on the transition. Wilkins played on a switch by Grant. Wilkins isolated against Grant. Off the head fake. Does not have the move. He's stopped, and then he is fouled.
Well, Gerald Wilkins cleared everybody out of there as he felt he had a mismatch against Horace Grant, who is a very good defensive player, but he's used to guarding bigger players. And Pete Myers, Horace's teammate, felt he was in a little bit of trouble, so he came over for the double team and a little reach in the foul.
That is 4 on Grant.
Don't let him have it. That's good.
Phil's back on the floor. He's playing with 5 fouls. Been guarded by Scottie Pippen. Nice shovel for Williams. They have worked this on a number of occasions.
Oh, what a look-off by Bobby Phills as he looked at Mark Price coming off the stagger on the left side. That look enabled him to bust into the lane, draw the defense, and the nice feed inside. Veteran play by Bobby Phills.
3:50 remaining in the fourth. We'll be right back.
Taste the sound. You can hear it. Feel the crunch. Lift your spirit.
Nestle Crunch. Crispies make the chocolate so scrumptious and give your spirit that lift.
Get the scrumptious feeling of a Nestle Crunch.
Since your face can't adjust to your razor, the Schick Tracer adjusts to your face. Tracer's the only razor with blades that bend and flex for a clean, close, comfortable shave. Schick, we're changing the face of shaving.
If another company is promising your business big savings compared to AT&T, compare our best price to theirs. You may discover those big savings are just an illusion. Leaving AT&T doesn't make a lot of sense.
Besides being an educator, Jim Elkins is a collector of antiques and an occasional Montana trout. Having owned a dozen Toyota cars, Jim naturally made the T100 his first Toyota truck. Your typical big truck owner? No. But then the T100 is not your typical truck. Observe the Detroit Free Press. The cabin reminds one of the Toyota Camry in equipment and comfort. The Toyota T100 puts you in a whole new class.
Let it roll away. Coming up next, we roll to San Antonio. Shaq comes home for his birthday to Mr. Robinson's neighborhood, where the Magic meet the Spurs. Next on NBC.
Back at the Coliseum, capacity crowd on hand, better than 20,000, with fans now handling our promotional announcements. They knew they'd get this on, no doubt. Shaquille O'Neal and David Robinson in a terrific matchup. Dick Enberg, Steve Jones on hand to bring it to you, the second part of our NBA doubleheader. Orlando and San Antonio. And here is a stat that the Czar of Cleveland is well aware of. Cleveland 0-7 in games decided by 3 points or less, while Chicago at 7 up and 4 down in that department. There is Durant. And a loose ball foul is called against the Cavaliers. And John Hot Rod Williams was so angry he took off his face protector.
He wanted to make sure referee Derek Stafford really knew how he felt about this particular play to take that mask off. But interesting lineup that Phil Jackson is going with. And Steve Kerr, of course, who he likes in at the end of ball games because having that three-point capability, as does B.J. Armstrong, first Pippen and Grant, and Scott Williams. Luke Longley, who has scored well in this ball game, sitting on the bench, and Bill Wennington, who normally finished, is also on the bench.
Armstrong sitting down. Backcourt now Kerr and Myers with Williams, Grant, and Pippen up front. Cavaliers 90 and the Bulls 86. Price only 2 of from the field. And he drew the foul. A block on Williams.
Head play again by Cleveland coming down the stretch here. Any kind of pick that the Cavaliers can set with a big man for Mark Price to either go down to that baseline area and turn the corner, or one that will set him up going to the middle. He is so difficult to guard on pick and roll situations. You would like to trap him, but when you try to do that with a bigger man, he has that ability to cross over on the dribble, split the defense, and then really create havoc.
Longley, 16 points, 8 in the third quarter. Mark Price, one of the best free throw shooters in the history of the game, making his first appearance at the line. And the Cavs lead 92-86. 3:10 remaining in the fourth quarter. Wilkins getting a piece of it. Recovered by Myers. Shot clock at 6. Here's Pippen. And rebounded by Nance. Nice box out by Nance. Crowd reacting. They thought he was fouled. Fills for Nance. And rebounded by Williams.
Maybe too quick a shot there by Larry Nance. He is just coming back his first game off the injured list. He has launched a lot of jump shots for him.
Curl for 3. And rebounded by Grant. Gets it out to Myers. 2.5 remaining in the fourth. Bulls are down by 6. Good play by Phils closing the baseline. Pippen goes the other way. Myers for 3. Yes! Pete Myers from downtown to bring the Bulls within 3. Pete Myers prior to that shot, 2 for 16 from three-point land.
And he has come up large in this fourth period to keep the Bulls within striking distance.
Oh! Hot Rod Williams beat his man, could not hit. And back comes Steve Kerr. Just under 2 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Chicago with the ball down by only 3. Myers, Williams, and the Bulls have cut it to 1. The Cavaliers call for time.
Both moving the ball around. Pete Myers, not normally the guy they look for to take three-point shots, but he is spotted up in just the right position for Scottie Pippen. As Myers, ever since he fell down and kind of got upset with the officials, he has come on strong in this ball game. As here this time out of control, running the wrong way, Scott Williams cleans up on the boards.
Miller Genuine Draft, Bobby Ray Hall, IndyCar. This year is ready flying. Jim. Jam. Jam. Jim.
The car on the right was filled with Castrol Syntec, a synthetic oil, the other with conventional oil. They were then drained and started without oil to prove a point. You see, Syntec has a unique molecular structure that bonds to engine parts. Lab tests show it needs a layer of protection far stronger than conventional oil. And if Syntec protects this well now, imagine if you leave it in. Castrol Syntec protects in ways other oils can't.
John Daly, free swinging and long hitting. With more than his share of turmoil. Now after 4 months away, he returns to the PGA Tour. The Honda Classic next weekend on NBC.
Scottie Pippen has done it in other areas. He does have 14 rebounds, 15 points in all, but still struggling with the shot. 2 out of 4 in the first half, not looking for the shots, and 1 for 5 in the second half. And as we mentioned earlier, perhaps trying to get other people involved.
And he has done that. Luke Longley did it for much of the first half in the third period. Now Pete Myers in the fourth period, keeping the Bulls close.
Cavaliers with the ball and lead by 1. Here is Price. Well, Mark Price has not been able to hit, but it comes down to clutch time, and he buries the jump shot. 2 of 14 prior to that field goal. Cavaliers by 3, a minute and 20 remaining in the fourth. Pippen played well by Phil. Durant off the mark. Kerr is stripped and fouled.
Mark Price working down on the baseline. Steve Kerr trying to grab on and hold, but Price moves so well, loses Kerr, and then the pass right on time for him to, in his mind, finally hit a jump shot. But as a coach, you never mind running a play for Mark Price, no matter how well or how poorly he is shot.
Price called for the foul, his 5th. Kerr, an 83% free throw shooter. And the Bulls have done the job at the line. 30 of 36 for a club that normally has major problems at the free throw stripe. Again, a 1-point lead. Cleveland 94, Chicago 93, a minute and 10 minutes remaining. In the fourth quarter, the Bulls have lost 4 straight. Wilkins throws it away. Cavaliers come in with 9 straight wins.
Latrell Wilkins getting himself out of control here against some pressure in the double team by Pippen and Armstrong. Really had nobody coming to him. He lost his balance and threw it away.
Chicago with a chance to take the lead. Pippen had it knocked away. What a clip by Phil. Wilkins with Myers back. And this time trying to remain under control.
And get it into the hands of Mark Price if he can.
Price guarded by his former teammate, Steve Kerr. Price to the baseline and shoots it off the mark. Rebound, Fields. Rebounded by Grant, who lost his goggles in the process, and it's kicked out by Price.
And Mark Price is furious in the melee for the loose ball. Mark Price felt he knocked this ball off the shin of Steve Kerr. And there it is, and it apparently did go off the leg of Steve Kerr, but the Bulls get a break here as they will get possession as Mark Price, who normally keeps himself under control, has a number of eruptions today.
28 seconds remaining. We'll be right back.
It's been a benchmark of quality in America for over 25 years, but it isn't reserved for the privileged few. It has air conditioning, power windows and door locks, AM/FM cassette with 4 speakers, and much more. But it isn't an expensive luxury car. It's the Toyota Corolla Silver Anniversary Extra Value Package with savings of up to $700. The Toyota Corolla. You can't buy a more impressive car for less.
A date on the calendar. Monthly exams. The beat of a heart. A glimpse into the future. All the pieces that add up to a large dose of caring and concern from a pioneer in managed healthcare. Because babies need to be taken care of well before they're born. Peace of mind. It comes with every piece of the rock.
To whom it may concern, my mother abuses me and tells me if I tell anyone, she will let some bad person take me away. If you don't believe me, you can ask my sister. The last time, my mother slapped me in the face and my nose started bleeding. I wish I could find a new family far away who's going to be nice to me. And the family doesn't have to be rich. Can you help me do that? P.S. Don't forget, a family that's very nice and far away from here.
Ripped from reality, one woman's unthinkable revenge. She cut it off. That brought every man to his knees.
She might as well have just put it through his heart.
We're going to see how his sex drive is now, won't we?
But what would happen if she went too far?
It's a homicide. Your husband's dead.
An all-new Law & Order, Arresting Television, NBC Wednesday.
The Bulls getting the defensive rebound, trying to break out and run, get the ball to Steve Kerr. Mark Price knocks it loose and off the leg of Steve Kerr, but referee Paul Mahalik sees it the other way. Most players with that kind of demonstration would get a technical foul. However, Mark Price rarely reacts like that, and I think the official gave him a break.
Chicago, 1 timeout left. Cleveland with 2. Cavaliers by 1. We mentioned the Cavalier problems in close games. 0-7 in games decided by 3 points or less. 10-second violation for Bulls in an oddity. It's a rare call in particular in this type of situation. Did not cross midcourt within 10 seconds, and the call was made.
Well, there was 28 seconds left in the fourth quarter when the ball was inbounded. The shot clock, or the game clock now, shows 22.1. And now the discussion between Phil Jackson and referee Paul Mahalik, along with a lot of Bulls over there. But there's a rebound by Grant and then the loose ball. They're going to stay with the call. A 10-second violation.
Well, that is one that is difficult to figure because the timeout was called right after the ball deflected out of bounds. It was not as if the sequence had begun.
Well, I think they were saying that Horace Grant had possession on the rebound, and the outlet pass to Kerr and the loose ball out of bounds. That was still time running, and that's why.
So that is why it is a 10-second violation. All right, so Cleveland takes over. 20 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. Both teams are over the limit, and the foul was given.
Foul is on Williams. That's a second.
Larry Nance, 2 of 2 from the line. Orlando and San Antonio coming up. Game 2 of our NBA doubleheader. It'll be Shaquille against the Admiral. A battle of 2 of the NBA's big men. David Robinson with the 41 points against the Clippers on Friday night. Moving past Shaquille O'Neal. Nance providing a 2-point lead. He's a 76% free throw shooter. Hits the 2. Cavaliers lead 96-93. And Chicago calls for time with 16 and 6/10 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. The Cleveland Cavaliers trying to make it 10 straight wins. They did win 10 last April. The franchise record is 11 straight, set on 2 occasions. While the Chicago Bulls have dropped 4 in a row. Chicago Bulls have had success, though, in games going down to the buzzer. They have pulled out several. Opening night at Charlotte, Horace Grant's bucket with 0.2 of a second left won the game for Chicago. Then November 19th at the Forum in L.A. Grant again able to do it at the buzzer. Bulls won 88-86. And Christmas night against the Orlando Magic, game seen here on NBC. It was Tony Kukoc hitting the game winner. The Bulls won 95-93. Yet another, January 21st, the Bulls and Pacers, and Kukoc hits the 3 for a 96-95 victory. They were down by 2, the 3 by Kukoc for the win, and the Bulls won it by 1. So they have certainly been successful in this type of situation. They need 3 points to tie right here. The Cavaliers, who have had big problems in that department, 0-7 in games decided by 3 points or less. Steve Kerr is 44% from downtown. He is second in the NBA. B.J. Armstrong at 40% shooting the 3.
And Tony Kukoc back in Chicago nursing that sprained ankle, but obviously Kerr and Armstrong would be options 1 and 1A. Scottie Pippen can always take it on the dribble as he smiles over here. That's what he might do, is get the ball inbounds and get it right back and just dribble to the three-point line. The Bulls are out of timeouts. Cleveland has 2 remaining. Both teams over the limit and in the penalty. The Bulls don't necessarily need a 3, but with no timeouts, they got to take it, I think.
And they took a delay of game. Cavaliers checking out how Chicago will line up. And now Pippen looks to throw it in. Pippen putting the move on Hill. Goes for the 2. Tipped by Williams. It is a 1-point lead, 96-95. And Jack Madden indicating Mark Price calling for time with 7 and 7/10 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter.
Well, as we suspected, Scottie Pippen wanting to get the ball in. He does to Horace Grant, gets it back, didn't even look to stop at the three-point line, had go to the basket in his mind all the way, and I'm a little bit surprised here. They got the 2 points, but now in the inbounds pass, it goes to Mark Price. They obviously don't want to foul him, but they also don't want the shot clock to go down either. They trail by 1 point.
Both teams are over the limit. Cleveland has the 1 timeout remaining. Chicago Bulls have not lost 5 straight since back in April of 1989. They have lost 4 in a row and 7 of their last 10. And it does not get any easier for Phil Jackson and the Bulls. On Tuesday, they're back home for Atlanta. And then next Friday, they play at Atlanta, completing a home-and-home series. Atlanta, incidentally, 6-0 since Danny Manning has been added to the roster.
Well, the Bulls obviously are desperate for a win. They want one, but on the other hand, Phil Jackson has to be very happy no matter what happens as we look at the upcoming schedule. And, of course, Atlanta playing extremely good basketball right now. But the Bulls, I think, played the kind of basketball that they were playing in the first half of the season. And from that standpoint, you have to be happy. You'd like to put the icing on the cake and get the victory. And there's still plenty of time left, 7.7. But they're either going to have to get a steal on this inbound pass or the quick personal foul. The Cleveland Cavaliers would like to get the ball into the league's best all-time free throw shooter, Mark Price. But they have other good foul shooters out there as well. Nance, who just put 2 in there, and Gerald Wilkins shoots good free throws. So, and then the Bulls, without timeouts, are going to have to get it inbounds and run it up and see what happens.
Well, it looks like Mike Fratello has called another timeout. As we have been mentioning, the Cavaliers certainly have to have some apprehension about this type of ball game, and that they are 0-7 in games decided by 3 points or less. So the Cavaliers calling another timeout. They've used their final timeout. Now, why would, not that we've ever questioned the czar of Cleveland, why would he call another timeout, leaving him with none?
Well, a very good play by Mike Fratello at this point. With that timeout that Mark Price called, they would have had to inbound the ball deep in the back court where it's dangerous, and of course that's where the Bulls basket is. By taking the second timeout, the Cavaliers are now able to advance the ball up into half court. Not that it's an easy password there against good scrambling aggressive defense, but at least you get the ball away from the Chicago Bull defense. So Mike is taking a little bit of a gamble here, because if they can't get the ball inbounds right now, they cannot take another timeout.
All right, coming up, following the Cavaliers and the Bulls, Shaquille O'Neal and David Robinson in a matchup of Orlando and San Antonio. That is next here on NBC. 7 7/10 of a second remaining in this fourth quarter. The Cavaliers 96 and the Bulls 95, and now the Bulls must get, or rather the Cavaliers must get the ball in play since they just used their final timeout. Bobby Phills will throw it in. They'll be defended by Scottie Pippen.
Again, Scottie Pippen has the opportunity here to get the delay of game by crossing the line, just to get an idea of where the Cavaliers want to inbound this ball.
I believe checking whether they had a delay of game remaining. And now he takes it. Wanted to make sure. You can ask the official. Jack Madden went over to the official scorer's bench. This allows the Bulls coaching staff to check out the Cavalier alignment. And now he must throw in. Wilkins is fouled by Armstrong. So Gerald Wilkins to the line. He is 3 of 4 from the foul line, and a good free throw shooter at 80%. 6 and 7/10 seconds remaining.
will depend on whether or not Gerald makes 1, 2, or none in this situation. If he makes 2, obviously the Bulls will have to run it up the floor and shoot the 3 on the fly. If it's a 2-point situation or less, of course, Scottie Pippen, you figure to have the ball, has the opportunity to go all the way to the basket. 6.7 is plenty of time.
Well, that is the big one in terms of Gerald Wilkins' confidence, providing a 2-point Cleveland lead. Will Perdue coming in for the first time this afternoon. So Jackson looking for the rebound and then looking to toss it down court. Cleveland Cavaliers running for their 10th straight win. 6 7/10 seconds remaining, fourth quarter. Wilkins hits 2 of 2, and the Bulls now must set up for the 3. And Perdue lofts it, looking for Pippen, intercepted by Williams, and that should do it. Bobby Phills coming up with it, but looks like he was fouled. And Pippen was called for the foul. Still 5 1/10 seconds remaining. And John Hot Rod Williams, who was fouled by Scottie Pippen, will go to the line. He is 2 of 3 from the line and a 74% free throw shooter. He's the high man of the game with 22. With a 3-point Cleveland lead.
The Bulls were looking for their home run play where they try to hit Pippen around the top of the key, much like the Duke play with Christian Laettner, and then Pippen may be looking for a Kerr or Armstrong beyond the 3-point arc.
Well, that will do it. Now Pippen gets it out. Cleveland, of course, does not want to foul. Grant for 3. And the Cleveland Cavaliers, with head coach Mike Fratello extremely happy about the 99-95 win, have made it 10 straight wins, while the Bulls